didn't want to pay for this fight. More importantly.
What's good? What's good? What's good, my peopleizations? Oh, son.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sitting here like, yo, it's 3D. It's 3D. What's going on here, bro? I never heard it like this before. It never sounded like this before. It's different today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's different. Must be
salute to the peopleizations. We in the building. We in the building.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
Salute. We got a lot of boxing to talk about. Peace bless to the Queen, Callie World. She in the building. My brother Stephen L. Lamack, he in the building. James in the building. 818 in the building. Donnell Bell in the building. Dominique Woodland in the building. QY Dub Network in the building. The Queen, Tyna Scott, she's in the building. Canelo Duck Me, he's in the building.
He ducked you too, man.
NBA D Nice is in the building. Chris Brooks in the building. Reggie Wright in the building. Shadow Band in the building. D-Boy Dev, he in the building. Muscle Up Kev is in the building. I am Amanda 7-3, the Queen, she's in the building.
Salute. Chris
Brooks
Watson
in the building. Big Tim 45 in the building. Zanjo in the building. Enzo 88, he in the building.
Hey.
Ty Money 87 in the building. Southwest Dice in the building. C Bus in the building. More importantly, we got my brother Knuckle Up Sports is in the building. T Money in the building. Rashard Wilson in the building. Ruben Gutierrez in the building. Lamont in the building. And we got my brother T Bugs, he's in the building.
What up, T?
G Bo in the building. We got my brother Claymore Rain. He's in the building. Yes, sir. DFW Motivation in the building. Hey, so we got a lot of boxing. Sylvester Solomon 2011 in the building. So we got a lot of boxing to discuss today. We got Terrence Crawford did an exclusive interview. And I want to say this, right, Clay? I want to see more Bernie the Boxer interviewing Terrence Crawford because they have a familiarity. They have a relationship. They have history. They have comfort. Terrence Crawford is comfortable answering the question. That's the most I ever seen Terrence Crawford that comfortable, that relaxed in any interview I ever seen him do because Bernie is his brother. And Terrence Crawford, would you say he's an introvert? Like he
100%. 100%. Yeah. I think he protects out of that interview too, which we'll talk about. What I got to see about Terrence, and I'll give Andre Ward his respect too and say he did a good job at interviewing Terrence too. But Bernie definitely gets deep, deep under them layers. But Terrence showed he's really trying to stay a free man. He's trying to say he's protecting his peace because he's really not playing with nobody. And the antics are so crazy in boxing today. You can tell like he just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to let nobody trick him out his position, trick him out the position he is with his family, financially in boxing. So he tries to stay respectable. He's very sensitive to being disrespected. He really ain't feeling that energy.
No, and that's even like you said when Andre Ward gets deep, but Andre Ward still has a level of first he didn't grow up with Andre Ward. That's one,
right?
And two, Andre Ward still has a different level of professionalism. When he's doing his interviews, that's going to bring out more of the politic things that Terrence Crawford really ain't comfortable getting into.
Right.
With Bernie, that's his brother. Remember, Bernie was that guy. This is a lot of people don't realize. Bernie was that guy first.
Yeah, he was the dude. He was
that dude. And then, and Bud looked up to Bernie. You know what I'm saying? And they have a different type of level of relationship. And you can clearly see the comfort is different. He didn't mind. He was absolutely himself. He know there was no tricks. There was no angles. He was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He was
protected. He was protected.
Right.
He knew, like, I could let it all out, and this ain't gonna get twisted against. He's not gonna drop a piece of this that's gonna make me look like I was saying something else. He's gonna let it all be out there.
Right. And his mannerisms and his body language just showed you a different version of Terrence Crawford. The way he was just being himself on camera.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like, all right, it's not that he portraying to be anybody else, like he said, but he watches what he says so it's not used against him when it's somebody else. You know,
it was refreshing. It was definitely refreshing.
It was refreshing, bro.
You don't get to see him like that. Yeah, you
don't I wanted to be like, Bernie, keep going.
Yeah, when Bernie let him go, like, I know you got stuff to do, but once again, that's Bernie showing that he's protecting him as well. Like, we got deep enough. Bernie was good about getting the information, but not putting Terrence in a position the way he would say anything. I don't want to say incriminate himself, because there ain't nothing to incriminate himself about. Right. But maybe make himself look like a way that he wouldn't want to look like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was love there, and Terrence kept it 100 and let us know about a lot of stuff, bro, didn't he?
Right, and he there's no angle, so Bernie didn't have to. He didn't have to frame words to get certain things out of Crawford. No, did he? Because Bud's level of comfort with Bernie allowed him to just flow anyway. He gave us everything we wanted to know anyway. Terrence
looked like he wanted. It looked like he'd been waiting on a moment like this. He was like, let's get it now. Let's go. He was overexcited about finally being able to speak to somebody who ain't got no bad intentions, who ain't trying to twist nothing up. No agenda. Just, you want to hear about it? Let's talk about it. Nigga, like he said.
Right. I mean, the way he went in with T.O., he
crazy.
would have never went that deep with nobody else. No, did he?
Yeah.
He would have just
it would have been a complete media-trained response.
He would have just been like, hey, T.O., T.O. ain't, he probably would have brushed it off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I was like, I liked it. First of all, the comments that T.O. made about race, when he went into that, clean. And the best part is he did it clean. And you can tell when he got fiery about it with T.O., he really wanted to put hands on T.O. You can tell from the conversation when he went to a different place. Like,
he wanted to put that hands on T.O.'s dad. T.O.'s dad was who he was like, I'm gonna let it all slide, but there's one thing for sure. You won't put your hands on me ever in your life. When T.O. tried to step in for his pops, that's when it turned to T.O. where it was like, what? Hey, bro, you already know you don't even want no problems like that. So you need to just let me and this grown man talk before the way he handled it.
He said that, let two grown men talk.
For real. Like, we politicking about something above your pay grade, brother. Like, you're not even in this conversation. Don't put yourself in this.
And then the part with Fundora when he was like, I thought they said I don't sell. But now they got to come back to me. He said, and I like when he said this. They essentially, in so many words, I'm gonna paraphrase, cherry picking Errol Spence might go wrong for you. Styles make fights.
Right.
He's like, they're gonna go in there with Errol Spence thinking that it's a certain kind of way and find out that Styles make fights.
And have nothing to gain from it. Where, you know what I mean? No title on the line, no nothing, no kind of recognition. You about to get beat by a dude who got the worst ass whooping of that he's ever had, and ailments, whoop your ass.
And then on top of that too, Clay, you got everything to lose.
Yeah.
Because you're the one with the belts.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you risking this ass whooping from somebody who's not even the person he used to be.
Right.
As far as we know. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're going to say. You could get a fight with a pound for pound, 2 weight class undisputed champion. You playing games and trying to cherry pick your way into the cherry pick that went wrong, into a damn embarrassing situation for yourself.
Right. And then now it's going to be a cherry pick going wrong. Right.
But what do you think? But Blue, what do you think is fueling the change of heart in Samson and in the Fundora team? What is fueling this? All of a sudden,
it's clear to me. It's clear to me. And Buzz said it yesterday, but he didn't want to go into it. But I'm gonna say it. It's the money.
It's Turkey.
Because remember, you gotta remember this. When it was first being talked about, people really didn't know what to make of Turkey. Right. They didn't. We seen the heavyweight clash. You know what I'm saying? Is this a gimmick? Is this gonna be around? You know what I'm saying? Remember that Bud card wasn't announced yet. That didn't come about. You know what I mean? Remember, they was talking about fighting in June. This was after he fought Tim Tszyu in March.
Right.
That Bud was talking about fighting Fundora in June and Turkey and them, right? But they didn't know what to expect from Turkey because we only had that one card, the heavyweight card, where it had Wilder and all of them, right?
Right.
So it was like, all right, that came across as gimmicky. But now that money is flowing and they seeing this card, that card, and boxing is a small world. So now everybody's made aware, oh, nah, Turkey paying for real.
It changed, right? It changed somewhere because the first narrative was the money was with Errol, right? Because of Al, because of the PBC. Right. They were operating on an old blueprint. They were operating on a Showtime blueprint. They were thinking back to Showtime days. And then the way this thing has dragged out, it's pretty interesting how this fight could never actually be made, right? No dates could actually be set in stone. It was always this negotiation, this never-ending negotiation where Sebastian Fundora was just getting cold on the shelf. The PBC was telling him whatever they would tell him to make him believe that this was still an open thing that was working. But at some point, they were like, this ain't going to work. They figured it out. They're like, Errol ain't happening, bro.
And
we need to figure something else out.
Remember this, too. Al Heyman wasn't involved. Now he just came back. It's still the unknown with Amazon.
Allegedly, Blue. Allegedly.
Right. It's still unknown with Amazon. Right.
Right.
And now Turkey is a proven commodity.
Right.
And you see now that card that featured top ranked fighters, PBC fighters. See now everybody got to know. They got a taste of it because the PBC actually had fighters on Turkey card. So they know that money legit. They know.
And the conversation's out now, right? People are talking. David Morrell's letting me know, like, nah,
the fighters, the managers. Because remember, Samson came out and Samson said, oh, we just waiting on Turkey to call us with the Crawford fight. The first thing he mentioned, he didn't mention Crawford. The first thing he mentioned was Turkey because he wants some of that Turkey money. And that's what Terrence Crawford, he somewhat hinted at it yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I remember.
Yeah, he said, oh, that now they want that money. Yep. Now I'm worth it because Turkey is backing Terrence Crawford heavy. You know what I'm saying? And they know now it's like, all right, we're going to lose our belts and not get paid. Right? Because remember, this is what they was going on for. We're going to fight Errol. Him and Errol's going to sell because they're going to fight in Texas. They're going to fight at AT&T Stadium. Errol's going to sell that arena out. You know what I'm saying?
100%. The anticipation is great. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to see it.
And everybody wants to see how Errol come back. So it's going to sell. But what Turkey is offering with Terrence Crawford for 3 belts and that money and future, right? Doing business with him with Terrence Crawford also unlocks the door in the future.
Right.
So we could always come back to Al.
Period.
We can't burn this bridge with Turkey. You know
what happened to Tim Tszyu? Tim Tszyu in the cold, bro. In the cold. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so now they like, bro, let's get this. Samson is telling Fundora, let's get this Turkey money. And don't forget, Louis DeCubas did business with Turkey now.
100% sitting right next to him at the reality season.
And so he like, bro, let's get this bread. You know what I'm saying? And look at the fight. It's a Crawford fight, your legacy fight for 3 belts.
Facts.
Roll the dice. You roll the dice, you come up, you win. Imagine what you come back now. Maybe Turkey like, hey, now I'll make the Errol Spence fight. You beat Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see Errol Spence get some of that bread too.
100%. But everything makes sense, Blue, as to the way they thinking about it. I guess for me, what was more confusing, it was more confusing watching Samson and Fundora and people on the PBC side pretty much pushing this narrative that Errol Spence was the most practical decision, the most logical decision. It just didn't make sense to me because it's like, here goes the WBO being upfront with you, letting you know, we're going to take this title from you, bro. If you don't fight this dude, you're not going to be a unified champion. You ain't going to get a chance to defend your belt, number one. Number two, this is a two-weight class undisputed champion. If you're talking about greatness, if you're talking about accolades, it all aligns with you going in the Terrence Crawford direction. You trying to make it sound like Errol Spence was the big money fight, was this big thing, which, you know, respectfully to Errol Spence, like you said, he's going to pack out Cowboy Stadium. But at the end of the day, it just didn't make any sense for him to give away his belt at an opportunity to fight a fighter who just came off of a loss against a fighter who's your mandatory. It was going to always make you look bad to me from the beginning. Right now, it just seems like you guys pull your head out your ass and realize, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Don't forget, it was, don't forget, it was still the unknown, right? So you got Errol Spence in Texas at Cowboy Stadium, right? Mm-hmm. That's going to sell. They could get bread, you know what I'm saying, off the gate. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Things like that. That's what they was focused on. Like you said from the beginning,
Rachel.
The old model.
Yeah.
The old business model. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
They were focused on that. That's that old business model. That's you know what I mean? We could get that pay-per-view back in money. We're gonna get that live gate. They're gonna put whoever on the undercard, you understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna make money from that. But Turkey is doing something different, and he's bringing something different to the table. And now it's like, wait a minute, bro. We getting guaranteed money with Turkey, bro.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of.
What did you feel about Terrence talking about how it's not only Terrence, everybody's been talking about how Turkey's been getting everybody losses, right? People been going over to Turkey's card and getting these losses, and painting the narrative as if you better not go over there. He's setting y'all up, like he's setting the people up to lose on these Riyadh season cards. What do you feel about that? Is that, how much weight does that hold with you as far as like setting people up to lose game?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, right? Because no, what he doing is actually, like Terrence Crawford said yesterday, what he doing is actually making the best fighting the best. He making fights that people want to see. Mm-hmm. And now that he's making fights that people want to see, it's not carefully being match made. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now you're getting the best versus the best. And now you're going to see who's who. And now, guess what? We starting to see fighters get exposed. They're getting exposed because they're not being protected anymore.
Right.
Turkey not in the business. And the best part about what Turkey is doing is this, right? He's not in the business of protecting you because guess what? The best part about Turkey is you still going to get paid. You lose with Turkey, he not throwing you away.
You're going to come back again. If you put on a good fight, you're going to come back again.
I'm bringing you back.
Straight up. Shout out to Jarrell Big Baby Miller, right?
Big Baby Miller, Deontay Wilder, right?
Nick Ball, who came back to a title fight, lost, came back and got a title fight against Raymond Ford.
Guess what? They already negotiating the Anthony Joshua DeBose rematch.
Right.
Danny DeBose lost to Usyk. He's back on the card.
Deontay Wilder never got left too.
Never got left. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So Joseph Zhang lost to Joseph Parker. He brought Zhang back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not being the fighters are able to be comfortable because you could lose and he's not throwing you away. He bringing you back. So you're still able to feed your family. He's not 100%. Putting you on the shelf. He's not pushing you to the back burner. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening now is there's no careful matchmaking being happening. Now he's just matchmaking. Let's see. And it's not, and the best part about it, Clay, it's not even top levels. It's just it's just competitive fights he's making.
Listen, man, it's refreshing. If you're a boxing fan, and I hate to bring it back to something like this because everybody watching this should be a boxing fan. It's just impossible for me to understand how you would feel any kind of way of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like the fights you're watching. I mean, that Virgil Ortiz. Well, no, that wasn't a turkey fight. So let me pull back. Let me pull back on that. But just to say, like, the competitiveness has gotten so high, you can go into these cards thinking they're going to look a certain way, and that's what people. Just to kind of answer my own question that I asked you, what I take from everybody complaining about this whole entire idea or narrative that, yo, he's setting you up. No, he's not setting you up. He's not setting you up. He's putting you in a fight. Now, you're going to get paid well for it. You're going to get paid well to fight, but he's not he's not concerned with building your career up in a certain way to have you knocking everybody out or dominating everybody and, build this fake facade of who you are when we all don't know who you are ever because you ain't fighting nobody. No, with him, you'll get the money. The money will be substantial. It will make sense. It will do good for you in your career. But at the same time, you're going to be in a fight. So fighters who are getting on that card just approach their training camps differently. They approach their whole mentality differently. We're going to see the best versions of these dudes. When we see Jared Anderson come back in the ring, I bet money it's going to be a different Jared Anderson. I bet you it's going to be a whole different Jared Anderson, bro. And whatever you see from him, he wouldn't have been that, bro, without getting that Martin Bacoli fight in front of him to let him know, keep working, champ. You're a young bull in this game. You got a lot of promise. You're athletically gifted, and a lot of people are looking for you to do great things. But that you ain't going to look great without the work. You're not going to look great without the matchups. You're not going to look great without being an active boxer in and outside the ring, like Roy Jones was telling him. So that's what Turkey's doing, and that's what people are seeing. When people are sitting there complaining, saying that it's a setup, I laugh at that. What setup? You're supposed to be the best in the world, right? One of the best in the world. Ain't no setup. What are you talking about? It's a one-on-one fight. You lost because you ain't who you thought you were. Now we're going to be excited to see you get there so we can see you be who you thought you were, and we can get the best fight as fans. We can't lose with that formula.
Can't lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what he's doing. He's giving us the absolute best, fighting the best. Mac Majestic, what's up, family? DFW Motivation, Elaine Roca, Freedom March, what's up, family? LT, what's up, family? Who else we got in the building, man? Stephen L. Mac, what's up, family? Brandon Broussard, what's up, family? William Cole, what's up, family? DFW Motivation, Sonny Augustine, Randall 700, what's up? I am Trey Bone, what's up, family? Every 650, what's up, family? Where you been at? MD Mills, K Muller, what's up, family? Jay Lynn, peace bless the queen, she's in the building. Steven 47, Deuce, what's up, family? My brother, 8K Crowder, he in the building, what's up, family? Underdog, what's up, family? Who else we got in the building? What's up? Who else I'm missing while we was chopping it up, me and my brother Clay? Joe Townsend, what's up, family? King Cole, what's up? Don Odie, what's up, family? Black Ham TV, what's up? Jay Nadia, what's up? Linsall, what's up? Curtis Ketchum, what's up, family? Quest for Knowledge, what's up? El Near, Rachel Donaire, the queen, she's in the building.
Rach!
Over 575, what's up, family? Knockout Boxing 86 TV, what's up, family? Who else we got in the building? G Tatted Up Nephew, what's up, family? Kenneth Neal, what's up, family? Hoyt Alston, Emmett Smith, what's up, family? Jonathan Thompson, Mike H, Marcus Priest, what's up, family? Carl Johnson, Samuel J 4C, what's up? Spence, New York City, John Muhammad, what's up, family? What's up? Rude Exposure, what's up? G Tatted Up Nephew in the super chat. He said, salute to Unc and Claymore. Salute to you, nephew. Always
salute, King. Salute.
Freedom March, my brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco. Honest to the super chat. Salute to my brother, Freedom March. Habitual Line Stepper, what's up? Harold Collins, what's up? Dominique Woodland, what's up? Troll, what's up? Mike H.
It's good, Tom Morris.
What's up? Cat Dog 300. $1 Trillion Dream Deuce, my brother. Todd Morrison. Jack Blumquist, what's up, family? So so just to touch back on the turkey. So now, long story short, Terrence Crawford told us that he asked for the extension now, and now him and Fundora in negotiations to stage a showdown, which is great news. You know what I'm saying? He staged. Now they're going to stage this showdown. So let's talk about that fight itself, because now we're going to get Terrence Crawford making history. Canelo Alvarez clearly is not in the business. Just Being E, Tax Tack, what's up, family? Kingdom of Kush, Harold Collins, what's up? Jeff Sixline, what's up, family? Dwayne Musandon, what's up, family? Anthony Johnson, Just Being E, what's up, family? So now Terrence Crawford and Fundora, stylistically, 6'6", 80-inch arm reach, southpaw.
Woo.
He is, and Clay, he is nearly, and salute to Lucky Smooth, brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Appreciate you. He's almost a foot taller than Terrence Crawford.
Insanity.
Almost a foot. Crawford is 5'8". He's 6'6".
Yeah.
He's
a literal towering inferno, brother.
Literally.
Listen, I think he's the most awkward stylistic matchup at 154. He's not the best fight at 154, but in my opinion, he's the most difficult, the most custom made. You have to, like, Bud's going to have to bring in the sparring partners that's going to give him these looks. This is a whole different energy, but you know, at the end of the day, I think Bud's up for the challenge. I'm nervous about it. I ain't gonna lie. People think like it's gonna be like this easy lay down fight. Listen, man, I'm nervous. I'm a Bud fan, and I'm nervous. I'm like, bruh, and I'm gonna add to that and say that I believe that people over on Errol Spence's side of the conversation was a little nervous about it. I think there was some second thoughts about him coming off a 14-month, 18-month layoff, whatever it was going to be by the time they got in the ring, and for his first test to be this southpaw, 6'6", 80 arm reach. You know, he's not even that. I want to say experienced, but maybe I don't know if you might help me with the words, but he hasn't seen a lot of southpaws in his career. A lot of people say that was like custom, that was done on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So for him to come back to deal with coming off of a loss from a southpaw like Terrence Crawford, who I'm going to call a southpaw right now. Yes, I am calling him a southpaw. I know he likes to say he's orthodox and he fights both ways, but I think Terrence is a damn southpaw.
Yeah, he's predominantly a southpaw today.
Yeah, at this point, he's a southpaw, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's a southpaw who can switch to orthodox when he feels like it. but you know, Fundora was just going to be a stylistically difficult matchup for anybody. So him coming against Terrence Crawford, that's going to be interesting to see. And I think this adds something to Terrence Crawford's resume that just makes him even a greater fighter. It's a big challenge, bro. I know people want to make it an easy lay down and that. Listen, bro, he's 6'6". You can't take that away from him. You can't take away that arm reach, right? And we can move on from the fight that he had with Tim Tszyu to say that he began to use that jab, right? He started to stand behind that jab. Tim Tszyu was able to get inside of that, but that was a new thing for him. They attribute his success to his ability to stand behind that jab. So I expect him to come into this fight carrying off from that fight, standing behind that jab, trying to force Terrence Crawford to take some chances, to do some things in that fight. And it's going to be interesting to see Terrence break this Rubik's Cube down and get this guy out of here. I'm wondering, are you expecting a stoppage or a 12-round decision?
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, right? Like, it's so baffling to me. And salute to Rashard Wilson in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. Do they realize Turkey ain't a promoter? He's not invested in who wins or loses. Exactly. Knockout said Fundora got them belts because Tim Tszyu cut his eye. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
I agree.
Cut his head, really.
Yeah, he cut. Yeah. and do I think that Bud is going to stop him? Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he will, because I feel like Bud's movement. Remember this too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And salute to G Tatted Up Nephew in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. From watching what Brian Mendoza did, I believe Crawford will get the job done too. I agree as well to that as well. So not only Mendoza, but remember, Erickson Lubin should have won that fight.
Right.
He got away from the game plan and just started trying to be a dog. He was flat-footed. Remember, He dropped Tim Tszyu from a southpaw stance. He's a southpaw too.
Big facts.
Similar intangibles to Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have listened to Coach Cunningham, you could hear the instructions in the corner. I don't know what again, when you're a fighter and going out there and what the corner see and what the fans see is different things, right? Easier said than done, right? So I think that southpaw. I think Terrence Crawford can take a lot, like Knockout said from the Tim Tszyu fight, and like G Tatted Up Nephew said from the Mendoza fight. And I also want to add, I think he could take a lot from the Lubin fight.
Right.
Right. Now Mendoza knocked him out. Right. Tim Tszyu, Tim Tszyu's counterpunch ability was giving him all types of problems. Right. And Lubin dropped him. Right. He was knocked out by Mendoza. He was dropped by Lubin, and he was getting outboxed by Tim Tszyu. So there's a lot that Terrence Crawford can pull from that. And no disrespect to none of them, Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than all of them.
100%.
So with that said, I just think that the only challenge, the only difference is that these guys have been fighting at this weight class. So their body frame is different. Right? That's the only challenge. But to me, right? When I watch Terrence Crawford and Madrimov, now you can tell me what you think about this. But when I watched Terrence Crawford and Madrimov, right, I thought that I loved his Terrence Crawford fluidity. I love his quickness. He just looked he looked faster than in the Errol Spence fight to me. He looked more vibrant. You know what I mean? Like he just was more alive to me. Maybe that's because he had to be, because he was in there with a bigger guy, so he had to use his movement and his quickness a lot more than just his timing as he did with Errol Spence. So maybe that played a huge part of it, right? But to me, that's one of my favorite fights to watch Crawford in, because of his speed, his counterpunching, his fluidity, to me, to each their own. But to me, he just seemed quicker than he did in the Sean Porter fight and the Errol Spence fight. And I wonder if it was the weight, because the weight cut might have been draining him at 147. He had more energy to me.
I think Crawford is just he's a committed, disciplined athlete all around. He does everything to be the best at it. And I think that's what showed in that fight against Madrimov. I know people don't want to give Madrimov the credit of who he actually was, of his amateur career that he brought in, that pedigree he brought in the ring. And I think that they don't want to give enough value in it to show you to be able to give the value to Terrence, to be like, yo, this was not going to be an easy fight for Terrence. He was fighting a fighter that was coming to outbox him and change his game plan up in the last minute. Not in the last minute, but Crawford was prepared for more of a weight bully, more of an aggressive Madrimov to try to take advantage of the fact that he was coming up from 147. And Madrimov just came with a whole different approach, and Terrence had to adjust. And I think what you got to see in that fight was that he's always on point. He was able to adjust. I agree with you. I know people they want to say he was slower. I don't feel like he was slower. I think he wasn't letting his hands go the way they wanted to see him let his hands go, but at the same time letting his hands go. You know what I mean? Looking for the shots, pressing and looking for those opportunities where Madrimov was sitting there being very irky-jerky, feinting him a whole lot and making him have to be reserved. Because look, Terrence had every reason to be reserved. You're going up in weight. Everybody's talking about this power. He needs to feel this guy's power before he can let his hands go. But this guy's not letting his hands go to give him so he had to kind of play his position. And we got to see what it looks like when a counterpuncher is fighting a counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to let their hands go off first and how's he going to react? But I feel once Madrimov started to let his hands go, you got to see how fast that muscle memory was there. And it was a fight that, in my opinion, was the perfect fight for Terrence Crawford to be in, to reacclimate himself back into that rhythm of what's going on in that ring and get him ready for 154. It really just got him on point. If that's his tune-up fight, if that's his warm-up fight, his fight where, he's coming back and he has to get it together, well, that was the perfect fight for him. You know what I'm saying? 12 rounds of a high-level boxing match. I think that he came out better on the other side of that fight. I literally think Terrence Crawford came out a better fighter on the other side of that fight.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And it's one of my I'm a boxing nerd. So that's one of my I like the thinking game. They were both thinking, you know what I mean? Cameron Fields, peace and blessings to the queen. She's in the building.
I definitely enjoyed it too, brother. I did. I enjoyed that whole fight. I know people complain,
me too. I love that fight. I've watched it now about 6 times.
Great fight, bro. Great fight. And Madrimov, we won't know how good Madrimov is until his next fight, but I think his next fight, he'll put that fight that he puts out, whatever his next fight's going to be, he's going to put respect on Terrence. It's going to let everybody know, like, oh, this guy really is like Triple G 2.0. Like, this is a whole different type of energy right here.
And I'm glad you said that too, Clay, because I think as well, like you said, Crawford came. I think Madrimov came out a better fighter on the other end as well.
100%. 100%.
I think moving forward, that's going to bode well for Madrimov as well as it did for Terrence Crawford, because now he gained some experience from a fighter of that level. He made some mistakes that he knows, because there was moments where he was just missing Bud like by this much.
Right there. Right there.
And he ain't going to miss everybody else like that.
Nah, because everybody else ain't Terrence.
They ain't Terrence Crawford.
They're going to realize, bro. They're going to realize how great of a fight. And once again, I also give credit to Turkey and the matchmakers over there who understood, you know, the Western culture, the American side of boxing wasn't familiar with Madrimov, right? So they automatically went into who the hell is that guy? I never even heard of this guy. Oh, Terrence is fighting somebody we never even heard of. That fight let everybody know, if you don't know yet, get to know soon, that just because you ain't heard of a fighter don't mean he's not a good fighter. There's been a lot of no justice is being served to us as fans to just being allocated and isolated to American fighters. There are fighters in Eastern Europe right now that are shaking the world up that will come over here and spank some of your favorite fighters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. Right now we have Alexander Usyk, heavyweight champion of the world, Eastern European. We have Lomachenko, Eastern European. We have Dennis Berinchyk, Eastern European, right? We have Stanionis, who's a champion, Eastern European. We have Bohachuk, who was a champion. A lot of people feel like beat Virgil Ortiz, an Eastern European. Just because you ain't heard of these fighters,
and Dimitri Bivol.
Yes, exactly, 100%. Artur and Dimitri Bivol, as well as Tim Tszyu about to fight an Eastern European for his IBF title opportunity coming up. So we have to understand that all the greatest fighters in the world ain't here, Craig. They're all around the world, and that's what Turkey brings to the table. He's bringing in the outside world. He's bringing America to the outside world. And like, you know, look at what happened in the Olympics this year. We didn't get not one medal. You know what I'm saying? We just, there's been a lack of development over here, bro. And I think what Turkey's also doing is elevating what's happening out here. He's making the fighters out here step their game up. Morel had a very competitive fight with an Eastern European, if I'm correct, against Hot Rod. That was a very competitive fight. It goes on. It goes on.
Yep. Hi, I'm Peyton Gary. What's up, family? Enzo 88. What's up, family? If Fundora Boss uses his jab, is going 12. Yeah. Denzel Horton. What's up, family? He said Lubin could have won if he would have fought a correct fight. I'm a paraphrase. Vaughn Wise. He said the anomaly for real. That's a fact. The sports guy, my brother, he said, I still think Tim Tszyu versus Crawford would have been a way better fight. Could have been.
That's what Errol thought he was going to get. That's when Errol jumped into that conversation. I believe, I have no facts to back it up, but I believe when Errol decided, I'm coming out there to Vegas, and I'm coming out to Los Angeles. I'm sorry, and I'm trying. No, Vegas. I'm coming out to Vegas, and I want that fight. He was thinking it was going to be Tim Tszyu. And it got to a point, Blue, and I'm gonna let you go on just to say that I believe that the PBC was almost ready to be like, you know what, give Tim Tszyu that rematch. There was a plan to give Tim Tszyu that rematch off the strength of, yo, Tim, do what you were supposed to do, bro. You had that freak accident in there. Get that damn belt, because we planned on fighting your fan base, fighting Australia. We did not plan on Sebastian Fundora. He was supposed to be getting a damn WBC title against Bohachuk, right? Bohachuk. He was supposed to be fighting Bohachuk for that title, for that WBC title. That thing just derailed the game plan a little bit, and I think that's what's kind of held up this Errol Spence Sebastian Fundora situation a little bit. So he really came in and threw a wrench in everything.
Yep. Seth LM, he said, I thought he looked a little slow moving up. Great Gambino, my brother, he said Fundora might be a tougher than Madrimov. Turnt Music Entertainment, he said 100, salute. Blade Brown, he said Blue and Clay, what's up, family? Salute.
What's good, Blade?
Vaughn Wise, what's up, family? He said Bud go get it done. That cut from the elbow was a gift from the boxing odds. I agree.
It may be a gift or maybe a curse, bro, because he might be somebody difficult to just rip the belt from his hands, man. Listen, man, 6'6". Listen, bro, 154, it's complicated, man.
Yeah, it's not. It's King Grayson. What's up, family? It's a very tough fight, but the versatility of Terrence Crawford, I believe in.
Me too, 100%.
I trust in the versatility, and Terrence Crawford has fought a guy extremely tall like that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, when he fought. Now he's not as tall, obviously, as Sebastian Fundora, but when he fought Jose Benavidez Jr., you know what I mean. So he does have an idea of what it is to be in there with a guy that's taller than him, and that was one of his first fights at 147 pounds.
Right.
Might have been the second or third fight.
I don't remember what number it was, but I also know that was a great fight. It
might have been the second one because he fought Jeff Horn. I think it was Benavidez. If it wasn't Benavidez, then it was he fought Amir Khan, then Benavidez, one or the other. But I know it's either 2 or 3. Stephen L. Mac, brother in the super chat, dropping that cinco on us in the super chat. I still get emotional because the late great Kurt Sugar didn't get to watch that fight. Man, tell me about it, bro.
I never got to meet that brother, but I know he was a great dude, bro.
And that's why I'm a strong advocate for the best fighting the best. That's a major reason why I'm not holding no punches back.
Right.
That's a major reason why I'm not holding any punches back. Because of that.
You're right, by the way. It was his second fight at 147 was Jose Benavidez Jr. The one before that was a Jeff Horn fight.
Right. So imagine what's the odds? He fought a guy 6 feet tall, his second fight at welterweight. And now he's gonna fight a guy 6'6".
6'6".
His second fight at junior middleweight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a difficult fight. Anybody listen, I question. Listen, man, I'll be real with you. I see some people who are saying like this is supposed to be a lay down fight for him. I think y'all just trying to set up if he loses. Oh, he lost against. I think I really be seeing through the nonsense. I really be seeing through it. This is gonna be a competitive fight, bro. But it's not gonna walk. In my opinion, Bud is not supposed to walk through Sebastian Fundora. No matter what anybody says, that's not what's supposed to happen. If that happens, that's because Terrence is a great fighter. He is not supposed to walk through no towering inferno. Is he supposed to win? Maybe. Yeah, he's probably supposed to win. Walk through him? No. That's the discredit starting off early with fake love and fake admiration. It's fake. Trying to lower the value of the fighter rate to be like, he's just gonna walk through him. Nah, bro. That's not what he's supposed to do.
The queen, the chocolate drop, making for 50% of the queens of the ring. Nick J, she's in the building.
Salute, Nick.
She said, "Me too. I miss old Kurt." Yeah, and that makes me emotional. Kawhi Elliott, my brother, he said Kurt Sugar was the blue like Claymore is now. Actually, Claymore is a lot closer to me than I was to Kurt.
Yeah.
I was hey, bro. I couldn't. Kurt, I told Clay this. Me and Clay had this conversation before. Kurt deferred a lot to me, just out of respect. Just out of respect, Kurt took a lot of steps back. We had a lot of conversations off the air, and that's why I always say be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Mm-hmm.
When I talked to Kurt off the air, I didn't challenge Kurt. Now I'm a man. I stand on my square, and I believe what I believe, and I have my own knowledge of the sport of boxing for sure. Poncho Villa, Jesse R, what's up? Mr. Boxing Fanatic, what's up? But Kurt was different. He's just different, bro. Kurt. There was nobody in this boxing game. I mean, you would have to go to Burt Sugar. His name, he was named after. L Dub, the boxing plug, is in the building. Kurt was just different, man. I mean, he knew every rule in boxing. He knew when the rules changed. He could tell you the year when the rules changed, every single rule, right? He can tell you every reasoning for everything that was done. The hand wraps, the gloves, when the rules came into place, how many people was in attendance at every fight. The pay-per-view, he remembered the closed captions, the circuits, you know, like he just remembers so many different things. It was inhumane to me. It was inhumane. So out of respect, Kurt just it was my platform. He didn't fancy having a platform.
Mm-hmm.
He was okay with being a co-host, and he was okay with letting me being the lead. You know what I'm saying? He knew that I knew enough boxing and I knew what I was talking about, that he was okay taking a step back. Kurt wouldn't be a co-host to nobody. He was obviously a co-host before me when he was with World Breaker. But World Breaker also is somebody that knows the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And so Kurt needed to trust you in order to defer to you.
Right.
Because he's not in the business of debating.
Right.
He did the debate thing as far as Stump Kurt that we used to do, where people would challenge him, but that was out of fun. But as far as being on the platform and going back and forth, he ain't gonna do that. He wasn't gonna do that. So if he couldn't find it in him to defer to you and let you be the lead, he wasn't gonna rock with you. So he did the Three Wise Men with him and Stormy and Scrapbook. Again, those are historians. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes, Scrapbook, Stormy B Man, Kurt, they in a different bracket. You know what I'm saying? They that's what it is, the Three Wise Men. They sitting up on the hill. They the monks. They the monks of this boxing. Man, you ain't going up there. You go up there and play around, they're gonna quit and push you
The
and hold you
oracles.
right back down the hill.
The oracles, like
Exactly.
I can't remember the movie, but there was the oracles. You had to come to
Exactly.
these big mountain oracles, and if you weren't right, they'd sink your boat. You know what I'm saying? Like kill everybody on the boat. Like you had to come in and say the right thing.
Right. So Barry Nice, he said, "Wow, can we find any old footage on here for the people?" You could go back to my old live streams, and you can 8 years ago now, man.
How long has it been since he's passed?
Man, Kurt passed about 5 years now.
Wow. Yeah, before my time. I was even on this YouTube thing.
Kurt passed before the pandemic. I think he passed before the
pandemic.
The pandemic, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he passed a while.
Long time watching. Copeg for life. Yeah. Salute Copeg. Oh, you a Copeg dude?
Alan Land, what's up, family? Salute to Copeg, man. Salute to the 11726.
Okay.
Salute to the 11726. So Kurt was man, that dude was different, bro. He was different, man. Listen. That's why I'm so it hurt me that he didn't get. He was so excited
for Bud
and Spence.
Mm-hmm.
All he talked about was, "Hey, bro, this is a throwback fight." For somebody like Kurt, it's like me and you watching the NBA today compared to watching the NBA in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
It's like it's a different league.
Right.
So when we get anything remotely close to what we had then, it's going to excite us because it's like, oh man, this is like a 90s feel for us. This is like an 80s feel for us. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I mean? And
Long Island's in the building tonight, bro. Y'all got me in my somebody shouting out Riverhead.
Right.
Yeah. T. Sims. Whoa.
Yeah, Kurt passed a long time ago now. At least 4 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At least.
What was his prediction in that fight? Because I see G Tad had said
Terrence Crawford.
It was Terrence, but did he predict it by stoppage or did he say?
Yeah, he told me it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
He told me it was going to be easy, and I was like, ain't no way.
I didn't see the easy. I ain't gonna lie. I knew he was gonna win though. In my heart, I knew it. I've been said it. You know, I was here watching it. My wife, my son, my daughter. We had the whole family. You know what I mean? Watching it. I was going crazy up in here too, because I was like, "Yo, Bud is doing this dude nasty, bro." Pause. He wilding on dude.
Yeah.
And it just showed like you can't never ever take for granted that boxing experience, that pedigree. You can't never allow that to just go away off of somebody being a power puncher, quote unquote, a power puncher. And that's why the Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson fight is going to be interesting when it happens. I know a lot of people are just laying down that openly it's going to be one way, but no, when you bring high level boxing, you don't know what's going to happen, bro. You just got to see the fight. That's just how that works out. You just don't know how it's going to turn out, because you might find, listen, man, you find out a lot in those kind of fights, man. Them high level boxing matches, bro, it ain't just easy 1, 2, 3, bro.
He told me also too, he was like, Blue, ain't none of these dudes beating Shakur. That's what he told me.
Listen,
he said, Blue, none of these dudes beating Shakur. He said, I know you favor Devin Haney. He said he ain't gonna beat Shakur.
Wow.
He said Tank ain't gonna beat Shakur either. He's been saying it. He's like, Tank is not gonna beat Shakur. And I was like, yeah, I think Shakur gonna outbox him. He's like, a lot of people gonna be surprised. That's what he told me.
Right. Yeah, Kenneth, Tank has skills, bro. Like, I know you guys have a hard time like hearing it. As soon as you hear anybody being competitive with Tank, you feel like we out of pocket. Of course, Tank has boxing skills. What I'm saying is, when you bring two fighters in the ring with a high level of boxing skills, you don't know what's going to happen. You could think it's going to go one way. You can lean however you want to lean, but it's not going to be surprising to a real boxing fan who really watches boxing if the fight goes either way, because you're acknowledging both of these boxers' pedigree. If you're acknowledging both their pedigrees and what they both bring to the table, then you understand as a fan, one way or another, you're going to win, because you get to see the best fight the best. You can obviously, I'm going to assume that you think Tank's going to win the fight, and I don't fault you. Like Tank is a great fighter. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, I think sometimes people undervalue that kind of fight. They talk about it too easy. Oh, Tank just gonna knock him out. That's gonna be easy. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, they undersell it. Because again, they enamored with the power.
100%. You get caught up in that power, and yes, Tank can fight, but most people think that this fight's gonna go the way it goes because of Tank's unstoppable power. What's Shakur gonna do to stop Tank from? I get it. I'm excited too. That's what I hear. Whenever I hear y'all talking like that, I hear excitement, and I concur. I'm excited as well. Can't wait for the fight to happen.
Big Herm, brother, in the super chat. He said Tank trying to be the biggest weight bully. Yeah,
okay,
man.
I guess, are you about to segue?
Hey, Jay Smith, what's up, family? You
Big fight,
know. L-Dub, don't play with me, L-Dub.
Yo,
look what he said.
Big fight. I know what he said. That's what I said. That's crazy. But Hitchens needed to act right, bro, because that Pedraza nonsense was some nonsense, bro. That was some nonsense. One right here. This one right here. How did Cat Williams say? This shit right here.
Right.
That's a fight. That's something that everybody want to see. That's something I want to see.
Woo-wee. Oh, my goodness.
In Puerto Rico,
finally.
Liam Paro think he Puerto Rican now? Liam Paro got the Puerto Rican fan. He went down there, beat Sabril. Now he like, that's my hometown. We fighting in Puerto Rico. Paro said Puerto Rico is where I'm from, bro. That's my city now. I done took that city.
Wow. Man.
Is that, by the way, L-Dub, is that confirmed or is that in the works? Because just a week ago, we were talking about Hitchens versus Pedraza.
He gave us a date.
I know. I've seen that. Like, is that a confirmation, L-Dub? Can we get the confirmation in the chat? Can we get that? Can we get that confirmation, or is it still getting worked on? I think L-Dub's thinking about it right now. He like, should I say it's confirmed? Because I know Dub got he can basically say it's confirmed without it being confirmed because of the connections he's got. But he's probably trying to weigh it out. Like, do I really want to do that right now?
No, that's good. That's confirmed. If L Dub put it with a date like that,
Power gonna piece him up.
Jay said, Big Jay said Power gonna piece him up. Hey, why could I hear her voice saying it though?
I can see it whenever Nick put a comment, I can always picture exactly how her face looking, how she's talking. I tell her that all the time. Even when she come to my channel, I can just picture exactly how she's looking when she's saying it.
He said Pedraza was only mentioned because Power was waiting on the Australian government to approve a big fight, either Haney or Kambosos. They didn't approve it, so the IBF ordered Hitchison.
There we go. And that Hitchens, listen, I kind of saw that coming to a degree because I saw Hitchens' coach come up on, I don't remember whose channel, maybe it was Mill, and he was speaking about how he didn't understand how Devin Haney thought how Eddie Hearn thought he was going to be able to put a fight in between Devin and Liam Paro, because he was like, we're the mandatory. We beat Gustavo Lemos for that mandatory spot, and we plan on activating that. We want to fight for that IBF title. So I was shocked to see Jose Pedraza being brought up in a conversation, and I was completely disappointed in Hitchens. I'm like, yo, this dude is ducking the IBF rehydration clause and ducking his opportunity to become a champion. So it's actually very refreshing to hear that that's what's actually happening. I appreciate the info, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's great news right there. So let's go ahead and segue. First of all, I want to go with Teofimo Lopez.
Okay.
We'll get this. Or you want to go into this Tank situation? Which one you want to go first?
Listen, it don't matter. We can do Teo. Let's do Teo because I know everybody. If we do Tank, we ain't gonna never leave it because the people gonna start coming in. You gonna have to throw the link in there. They're gonna start saying you hating, and we're gonna be, that's how we're gonna end the show. You already know that's what's gonna happen. Y'all get ready. All the people who think that Blue be hating, get ready. Get your arguments together. I'm sure one of y'all gonna say something, and the link gonna get thrown out there. We'll deal with you guys accordingly. You know how it goes.
All right, so let's play the clip from Teofimo Lopez.
Let's do it.
And his old ducking self.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't he a duck? Ain't he? How he just switch up on us like this? Let's play this clip from old Teofimo Lopez. Oh, ducking. Ain't he a duck? Let's listen to him.
Vontae Davis or Terrence Crawford?
Whichever monkey wants to get the banana.
Real strong.
Hey, that was a good one. Whichever monkey wants the banana.
Coming up.
I mean, hey, listen, it's a freedom of speech. When I say that.
Oh, I thought that.
Wait, first he said freedom of speech, right?
Right.
Whichever monkey gets the banana, and then he said that was a good one. That was let's go. Let's take it back one more time, Clay. Let's take it back for people one more time.
Vontae Davis or Terrence Crawford?
Whichever monkey wants to get the banana.
Real strong.
Hey, that was a good one. Whichever monkey wants the banana.
Coming up.
I mean, hey, listen, it's a freedom of speech.
So he said, hey, listen, it's a freedom of speech. Now he thought he could slither on in on Cameron and May show, and they wasn't going to know about it. He thought they wasn't going to know about it.
Right. Because they're not boxing. They're not big boxing dudes. Like, yeah,
right. Mace is Cam ain't.
Right,
so
right.
In the middle of that, Cam's people starts texting Cam.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Old boy said black people is monkeys, so on and so forth. So Cam, in the middle of the interview, you can see him like, wait, what?
I'm mad Cam wasn't in the building. That's the only thing I was disappointed. I just wish he was in the building. That was it. But go ahead.
And Cam like, hold on. What's about this? You said X, Y, and Z. You said black people monkey? This dude said, when I say that. Now let's listen to what his response was. How they caught him.
Say that.
Oh, I thought that's what I'm asking my man who love you. I thought you said that, and you said that some monkeys telling me right now. I told him you on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Monkeys too?
Yeah. Nah. See, that's why everybody be pulling that out of context. Sure, look. So there's 3 words that we can't say in any industry, right? And I think we all know that. However, what I just did right there.
What are those 3 words?
All right.
Mace is messy.
I ain't saying it because one thing about me, there is always a line. There's always a line. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from Tupac and the other greats out there. So I ain't gonna press that. But all I did, man, was just hit a right on the belt line. Just punch on the belt line, but it wasn't illegal.
Right. Now, he said, I don't cross the line. There's words you can't say. But now, this liar stood there with Ryan Garcia and said that you should be able to say what you want.
Right.
That's when he said freedom of speech.
Right.
But now he talking about this. We all know there's 3 lines, there's 3 words you can't say. And now when they said, what's the 3 words? See, Mace know what he talking about. So they like, what's the 3 words? Oh, I ain't going to say those words. Now you ain't going to say the words, but you and your daddy say it all the time. You said Ryan Garcia should be able to say what he want to say. Freedom of speech.
You got hit. Your dad got hit in his mouth for his freedom of speech.
Right.
Shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Y'all say that word. Y'all know damn what the words is.
And then you're going to say, when they asked him, why didn't you, what did you say? He said, when you say that? Oh, when did I say that? Now you don't know what you said? Meanwhile, you said, oh, the monkey coming. He was like, that was a good one. So now when they ask you about the comments, when did I say that? And then at the same token, going to turn around and say, they take it out of context. When did you say it? Or they took it out. Which one is it?
Right. Right. Because you already denied that you said it, or you're asking for a verification. Did y'all validate and verify that was me who said that? What did I say? Yeah. So we already stupid because Cam is letting it be known that he's getting it via text message. So now there's room to start steering the narrative, to start changing the narrative and leading Cam and Mace into a space of I wasn't insulting black people. But you're looking into the eye of 2 people who's just like, yo, everything is good until it's not good, right? Everything is good until, are you playing with me? Are you on my show playing with me right now?
Right.
So he got to say everything the right way because everything was going so smooth up until this point. Everything was going great. And now the energy changed and he doesn't want this to turn into a roasting, into a cooking session because it can go there because it is what it is.
He realized Mace was lining him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but before Mace could line him up, Cam was like, hold on. And now he like, you know what he reminded me of? Tupac on Juice.
Okay.
You know, he was like, why did you do it? He made a move.
Yeah.
He made a move. He didn't make no move. He did. He said he did. You know, he went in straight panic mode. Who said that? I ain't never said that.
Right.
Let's listen again. Dude went straight into panic mode. Stand your ground.
Vontae Davis or Terrence Crawford?
Whichever monkey wants to get the banana.
Real strong.
Hey, that was a good one. Whichever monkey wants the banana.
Coming up.
I mean, hey, listen, it's a freedom of speech. When I say that.
Oh, I thought that's what I'm asking my man who love you. I thought you said that and you said that some monkey shit telling me right now. I told him you on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Monkeys too?
Yeah. Nah. See, that's why everybody be pulling that out of context. Sure, look. So there's 3 words that we can't say in any industry, right? And I think we all know that. However, what I just did right
what
there.
What are those 3 words?
I ain't saying it. I ain't saying it because one thing about me, there is always a line. There's always a line. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from Tupac and the other greats out there. So
now he threw it on Pop.
I ain't gonna press that.
He threw it on Pop.
Wait, Blue. Now, I just want to get your perspective on this so I'm thinking about this clearly. When he's saying there's 3 words you can't say, is he saying he was getting as close to those 3 words as he could without saying it? Let's be honest and transparent about it.
That's
so
exactly
your intention was to say to you wanted to get as close to those 3 words as possible. So your intention was to insult. Those words were said on purpose. They weren't out of context. You understood as you were saying those words what you could say versus what you couldn't say, and you did the closest thing to it as possible. That's what you said, brother. Let me tell you something, man. People were telling themselves, especially people who think they're well-read and they're intelligent and they think they can articulate bullshit. They think they could say things, and then they think that we're stupid and we can't understand, right? So on one instance, it could have been, I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just literally saying, because he's the ape and he's this, I wasn't even thinking racial. But here it is, you exposing yourself that you were conscious of the racism you were saying, and that you were like, what can I say to actually get as close to it as possible when I say these words? You just let Cam and Mace know that, listen, there's 3 words, and then you compounded it by saying, I was just punching on the belt line. Right. I was just getting as close to it as possible. So I want to know if the community is able to grab that for what it's worth, or is this another one that gets to slide under the window because he was caught off guard and he didn't know it. How's the community going to do that one? I'm interested in seeing that. Now that he said that, let's be thinking men and women. Let's be thinking men and women, use our critical thinking skills. He's speaking for himself as a grown man. Can we hold him accountable for the words that come out of his mouth?
Mm-hmm. And he said, I hit right on the belt line, but it wasn't illegal. Let's finish listening.
I ain't saying it because one thing about me, there is always a line. There's always a line. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from Tupac and the other.
No, you ain't learned that from Tupac. You learned that from your daddy. You straddle the line. Don't cross the line to the point of no return. You ain't learned. Don't try to put that on Tupac. You learned that from your daddy. That's self-taught.
Yeah.
In your household, not Tupac. That's your daddy that told you, hey, bro. That's why when he be doing these interviews saying what he's saying, his daddy being in the background, like hey, don't say that.
Chill. Don't do that.
Even when he said the monkey comment, you can tell somebody looking at him and telling him, and that's why he looked over and he was like, I mean, they call themselves apes.
Yeah, let's be honest.
And he tried to clean it up saying, I'm a lion. Lions 100%. Don't fight apes.
Just because they're in your community, and they rocking with you every day, smiling your face every day, that's not for everybody. But they can be there too. They don't gotta just be in an all certain kind of area or look. They thinking how they think, bro. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we hide it because we say, oh, he grew up in Brooklyn. And that's how everybody talk, whatever have you. But there's also the ones who grew up in Brooklyn who say it with a different intention, a different narrative, and a different agenda. And we have to use our discernment, bro, to understand the difference. Like when Edgar Berlanga say it, that's a different energy. Right. We understand where Berlanga coming from. We understand when Tio sitting here saying like things he's saying.
And the thing about Berlanga, like you said, the thing about Berlanga is this, right, Clay? He used it towards everybody. He ain't hiding that he using it because he ain't using it in a derogatory manner.
Right.
So Edgar Berlanga ain't got nothing to hide. He talked to his brother. He talked to anybody who that's just who he is. Right. He don't mean it in a derogatory manner. So when Edgar Berlanga's talking, he ain't hiding it. He 100%. Using it freely because he ain't got nothing to hide because he's not using it to downgrade anybody. He's using it as a term of endearment.
Like Fat Joe too. When they confronted Fat Joe about it, and he was like, "You ain't gonna get me, boy. Shut up, nigga." You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I talk, bro. Everybody know how I get it in. But whenever he say it, it gotta be some like, "Oh, that's not. I would never say that. I know not to say that." When that was another thing. When Mace gave him the opportunity to be 100 about it and show us that you one of us because you from Brooklyn, he faded away from it. I would never say that because I know what I'm not allowed to say. Do you? Do you know what you're not allowed to say? So you said it knowing you're not allowed to say it.
There's one thing about me. There's a line I'm not going to cross. Excuse me? But you stood there with Ryan Garcia and you told Ryan Garcia it should be freedom of speech. And then he gave this whole lecture about freedom of speech. Remember that?
100%.
So which one is it? Let's keep listening.
Other greats out there, so I ain't going to press that. But all I did, man, was just hit a right on the belt line. Just punch on the belt line, but it wasn't illegal.
But it wasn't illegal. In whose eyes? Because in our eyes, it was illegal, and you knew it was illegal. That's why you backtracking right there. Because the first thing out your mouth was a lie.
Facts.
Like, you know how this goes, right?
Yes, I do.
You know, when your girl, your wife, significant other, fiance, you was out somewhere you wasn't supposed to be, and they say, "Where was you?" The first thing you say is either "huh,"
yeah,
what, you trying to buy time, right?
My wife in the background cooking me, bro. Chill, bro.
Yeah. You know how it go. Right?
Cooking me right now, bro. Chill.
Huh? What? What? Huh? Right?
Exactly.
You trying to buy time. So
yeah.
When they said, "What these comments you said?" He said, "What? Did I say that? Who?" Right? Because you trying to figure out, do they know something you don't know?
Yeah, you got to make sure everything is lined up right before you deliver the message. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's some real shit, bro. Like T.O., let me tell you something. I've always said to somebody, right? I've always said this to people. If I go to another country, like over here, right? Let's say somebody would call you a tomato head. Over here, you're going to laugh at that dude like, who you talking to? But if I found out I go to another country that tomato head is the worst thing that you could say to any person walking around, if you call me a tomato head over there, I'm going to feel some kind of way because it's the intention. I know what the intention is behind the word. You're trying to insult me in the biggest way you can insult me. And over here, that's what it is. T.O. understood that the use, that it was a sensitive topic. That he was that was very close to calling a white man calling a black man a nigga or a black guy calling a Spanish who was. He understood what he was doing while he did it, and he exposed himself by showing you how aware he was of how close to the line he was, and he did it anyway. Laughed, found humor in it, and is like, listen, I knew that I was going to hit you with a blow that might feel illegal, but it wasn't illegal. You wanted to give that feeling, brother. You told on yourself. You told on yourself, man. You was good until Cam. Watch out, Cam and Mace like turkey. You send your fighter over there. You might be getting set up to get cooked, bro. Because them questions happen and Mace start that laughing at. It can get dark for you real quick, boy.
And because here's the thing, right? This is what happens. See, his brain, now he realized, oh, my brain is getting ready to take a hit on this stage. See, he don't respect. See, he ain't going to interview with me anyway because he know better, right? So he going to do it with people that are comfortable giving him that leeway. He going to go to platforms that's going to cater to him and try to push this Latino narrative.
Yep.
That's what he gonna do. Those are the platforms he gonna go to. Right? That's gonna cater to this whole trying to use the Latino thing to big up their platform and core division. I mean, we all know those channels, those platforms. Right? They want to act like it's Latino pride. That's what he said.
Right.
Right? But Canelo ain't never said nothing like that. Canelo free to go wherever he want. He could go on whatever platform comfortably because Canelo didn't say them. We don't even know if he thinking. I don't think Canelo. Who knows?
Yeah.
You understand? The Benavidez, you can tell from their body they don't carry themselves like that. They got class.
100%, bro.
He's classless. Teofimo
he is, and he thinks he's smarter than he really is. He thinks he's really intelligent. He thinks he's like this dude who can play with. He just always trying to, just like when he was sitting on the stage with the Bruce Lee book next to Keyshawn, and then Keyshawn had to go ahead and kind of put him on blast a little bit more intimate, personal conversation, just to let him know, like, yo, why you playing with me? And he had to be in his I'm in my Bruce Lee mode, and he's doing too much. Where the main thing that Teofimo should be doing is fighting, right? Being as active as he can be, being as busy as he can be, and elevating every fight. But instead, he's turned into this fighter who's committed to trying to talk his way into an opportunity. He's going to try to clout chase his way into an opportunity instead of just fighting. Coming off a performance like he did against Steve Claggett, you would think he'd be interested in coming for redemption immediately, go for a unification fight. He has so many things he could be doing at 140 pounds, even to fight Subriel Matias or fight these other fighters in that division. He wants to do something great, and he understands that what he's done in the ring hasn't given him that opportunity. In other words, what he's done in the ring hasn't built himself up to be that kind of fighter yet. So what he's done now is he's going to skip the line and follow the Rolly Romero game plan or the Muhammad Ali. I'm not going to say Muhammad Ali, but the people who talk their ways into opportunities. He thinks he can do that. In the midst of doing that, he's crossing lines and messing with his whole entire reputation in the space. He needs to just fight. Just be busy. Fight, bro. Stop all this extra stuff, showing up to Terrence Crawford and you and your father. Y'all going to end up catching a bad one that way, and you ain't going to get no money from it. You going to catch one outside the ring, and you ain't going to get no bag for it. Like Terrence said in that interview, there's a way to do these things. You got to know who you're talking to and learn how to read the room better than how you're reading it, because you're really out here this close. Tio is this close to getting embarrassed out here. It's going to happen on this road. It's not going to work because you keep thinking it's going to happen in the ring, and the way you carrying it, it's going to happen outside the ring.
Yep, and he playing himself, and now he looking silly. That interview he did just made him look absolutely silly.
Yeah, he's doing a whole lot, bro. He's doing a whole lot, and I'm gonna be real with you. I'm still gonna give Tio the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna tell you, brother, if you're watching this, it's not that I think you racist, bro. It's not. I don't know if you're racist, bro. I'm not gonna put that on you. But what I am gonna say is that it looks like you'll do and say anything for some attention, and that's also worrisome within itself. That you think that the end all be all is boxing to the point to where you want to throw out everything else that's going to keep you in good standings with your community well after boxing is done. After boxing is done, you're playing games for nothing. You're being very thirsty, and it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. He's playing himself. He's absolutely playing himself because he's trying to use. You can see it's strategic. He's trying to use. Oh, let me use the Latino pride thing to bolster my fan base. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to get the Latino people on my side to bolster my fan base. They'll support me then. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's attempting to do. And at the end of the day, he don't realize is that he's playing himself. And,
he really is.
And he's already did it with me. He isolated a whole group of people.
He did.
He's trying to be disrespectful and trying to be funny at the same time. And that don't work. Nah,
bro. Yeah, and the people who you disrespecting, like Blue just said how he feel about it, ain't boxers. So you're not getting fights in the ring. Right. You're making people want to starve you.
Right.
Terrence is straight up not wanting to fight you because of how much of an idiot you are. Not because you're a threat, not because he's scared of boxing, because you're being crazy disrespectful. You cross the lines and you playing with him as a man, because outside of that ring, this ain't got we not inside the ring. We are not inside the ring, brother. Outside of that ring, I'm not playing with you, man. You better get out that black and white time in boxing when Muhammad Ali was pulling up on Sonny Liston and pulling up on George Foreman and doing all those things. That was back then, bro. Not everybody's with that. And if I remember correctly, Sonny Liston popped off a couple of blanks, you know what I'm saying, to let Muhammad Ali like, yo, bro, stop playing with me. Right. And you're going to get yourself in a position to where this is social media. This information travels with the speed of light. Everybody's getting this and watching it. You got to chill, bro.
Right. Bernard Thomas, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. He says, so what do we think about Devin saying I'll never lose to a white boy? Conversation purposes kind of was classless on the racial aspect. No, it's different, right? He's talking from a style matchup point of view. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Because we have a such thing in the sport of boxing, right? Bernard Thomas, and salute to you dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. But there's a such thing in the sport of boxing. You have Mexican style, right? There's a black style where it's elusive, on your toes boxing type of style. You have Eastern European style, right, of boxing, and so he's referring, when he said a white boy beat me, he's referring to that style, right? And this is historic, right? In the sport of boxing, we have these rivalries in the sport of boxing. It's a whole nother thing using derogatory terms towards a specific group of people. That's a completely different thing.
I'll say it like this. Me personally, I'm not going to speak for people, you know what I mean, like that. Listen, at the end of the day, if that's the argument that wants to get brought up about him saying a white boy will never beat me, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? For me, whenever I see people respond to situations like this as to why Tio is saying what he's saying and comparing it, and immediately your instinct is to bring somebody, what about that guy? It just seems as if the solution for you would be that we just allow Tio to do what he does, because we should acknowledge that at one point in time, Bernard Hopkins said something racial, or Devin Haney said something racial. I'll acknowledge it, right? Even though I feel like it don't have no place in the conversation, because Tio calling people monkeys and talking about he's purposely trying to hit as close to that line as possible, I think is a little different, in my opinion, in comparison to terminology that happens in the hood and that people talk about. And Bernard Hopkins has said, I ain't gonna let no white boy beat me. People know that. Does that make it right? It doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure as a white person, you could take offense to that, right? But it definitely don't make what Tio did right. So if we're talking about Tio and what he did, what is your point? Is it that we should get off of Tio and we should understand that if Devin Haney can say a white boy will never beat me up, that we should allow Teofimo to call you monkeys? That's what you're saying. That's a great defense. Get on the payroll, be a lawyer for Tio so he can be allowed to use his freedom of speech, and I'll fall back and understand. Great analogy. Tio, my bad, continue to call black people monkeys, right? I don't know what you want me to say to that, but I hear what you're saying in the comment, right? I really do hear what you're saying in the comment, but I don't understand how that. I'm trying to connect it with the Tio situation and trying to be fair, because I want you to regard how we're looking at this as fair. So is that fair to you? Is that what we should do?
LaToya Robinson, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put you the link. Turn your actual camera on from Baltimore, because we know you're from Baltimore. So you ain't a boxing fan, you're a Tank Davis fan. So LaToya Robinson, click the link. I just put it in the chat. Click the link. I put it in the chat. Turn your camera on. Show us Baltimore, because we know you from Baltimore. You don't watch boxing. And you come up here and you show me what news I made up. How about that? You show me what news I made up, and I'll send you $200 right now. Marcus M., what's good?
She's not coming up here.
Clarence McClain, my brother, what's up, family?
Yeah, Bernard, I get you're saying they both down playing a race, but are you saying it's equal? Are you saying that something that
Okay, so you from Chicago. Click the link. Don't type in the chat. The link is right here. Don't type in the chat. Come here and show us you from Chicago. Cool. You from Chicago, you know boxing. Click the link and come and tell these people and these thousands of people that's watching, and tell myself and Clay what I made up.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
Go ahead. Click the link. Don't talk in the chat. Click the link and speak your piece. Since Blue be making up story. If I make up stuff, why you watch me? Why you here? What you come here for? How would you know what I'm making up? The first time I made something up, why would you keep watching? You a Tank Davis cheerleader. Click the link. And I don't disrespect the queen.
At least she's a girl.
Click the link. Stop talking. If you don't click the link, you got 3 minutes to click the link, or I'm just gonna block you altogether. So click the link and come up here.
We're giving Devin all his good hype when he jumped for no reason. Well, we weren't even talking about Tank. So I guess is this something you coming to get Blue for yesterday or something, the day before yesterday? Now
you at work. You doing all this typing. What kind of job you got that you got all this free time to be typing in the chat? You can't click the link. I'm a clown, but you watching me. You came to the circus. Now, who's the fool? You pay money to come to the circus to tell a clown he a clown?
Oh, hold on a second, bro. Wifey in the background said, security.
Right. But now think about this. Why you pay to come to the circus to call a clown a clown? No, you the clown.
Ooh. No.
Click the link.
He said, what does he do? You at your job? What kind of job do you have? My wife was like, security.
Right. Like, what you do? How y'all got so much free time to watch me, to critique. You can critique me. You can complain about me. So I'm telling you to click the link. I got $200 for you. Take your lunch break right now.
Yeah, take the. I don't want to go. I don't want to do that. I was going to say, just take the night off. $200. Take the night.
Take your lunch break right now. I got $200 for you.
I got $200 for you. Take the night off.
Yeah, take your lunch break right now.
Tell him you don't feel good, bro. Go home. I got $200 for you. Tell him you don't feel good. Go home, bro. You good? I got your $200 for you, bro. Added to the $40 you already accrued.
Click the link. They go to the link.
That's hilarious.
Don't talk in the chat. I'm making up stuff. Okay, come tell me what I made up then.
I think she left.
Of course she ain't leave. She just ain't gonna type.
Oh.
She gonna watch. They can't help themselves.
That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious.
Come here defending somebody she don't even know. Talking about I'm lying. So click the link and come and speak your piece.
Y'all be so thirsty to get some attention and say something. I think she got bored. And she was like, man, I'm waiting for him to talk about Tank. He ain't taking enough time. So you know what? I'm gonna start off. Yo, Blue be lying, man. Try to make Tank look good, man. Blah, blah, blah. We over here talking about Teofimo. And we talking, you know what I'm saying? We're not even talking about Devin really, except for the white boy thing. And now it's like, yo, Tank, I don't know. Listen,
right. Matter of fact, Queen, I got $300 for you. How about that?
Now
$300 for you. Take your lunch break.
Punch out now. You could punch out now. Be real.
Take your lunch break. I got $300.
That's officially a punch out for you. You know it. Don't lie. You ain't got to act like. Come on, man. Come on. Why you mad at?
Why I'm mad at Toya? I don't know Toya. I know somebody speaking in here calling themselves Latoya Robinson. I don't know Toya. So I got $300 for you to click the link. Take your lunch break. You in Chicago at 6 o'clock? What kind of job you work? It's 6 o'clock, so you should be off 9 to 5, or you just started your shift 9 to 5, or you work 7 to 3. See, I know the shifts. It's 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. What shift do you work? You just started your shift?
She about to get off. She about to get off.
Yeah, what shift do you work? Did you just start? Because if you work overnight,
7 in the morning,
your shift didn't start yet.
Security. That overnight, there's only a couple different overnight shifts you
Hold
can be doing.
Hold on, Clay. I worked overnight at the hospital. What overnight? You an LPN at the hospital?
Oh, congratulations.
So you ain't on no 16-hour shift. You doing overtime. There ain't no 16-hour shift.
That's
you
what's
doing
up,
overtime, or you work, or you doing you do 12 hours, 10-hour shifts. 4 10-hour shifts. So either you doing overtime and you're an LPN, that means you could go take your lunch break. You ain't working right now. Where you work, at a nursing home? You got time. If you got time to type me, you got time. You on your lunch break. Judas 773, he said, making my city look bad. No, you don't love me. You love Tank, a man you ain't never met, never had a conversation with. Did he take a picture with you? Click the link.
Click the effing link.
I got $300 for you.
All blue. Why out of all God's creation is monkey so triggering? If T.O. said, let's see which dog gets the bone.
Government bread, easy dough. Now you laughing in the chat. But you just said I'd be making up stories. What's funny?
I got an answer for Derek Choice.
It's like I come down. Exactly, Adrian Cook. I worked in the hospital for years. I was a surgical tech in the operating room doing the trauma calls overnight for 17 years. For 17 years. In the trauma room overnight. So I don't know what overnight shift started at 6 o'clock in the evening. What overnight shift you work at? I gotta go. My break over. Right. Right.
Latoya done come to my channel a couple times. I done heard her talk. I know she funny and she cool as hell. But she did play. She did play with your face.
Real person.
No, she real. Latoya real. Latoya real. I'm having a good time. She good, but she ain't playing about Tank though. She ain't playing about Tank though. She dead serious.
Yeah.
She ain't playing about Tank though.
Hey, you could be a fan of Tank Davis. Don't talk down on me.
Right.
Don't talk down on me because you're a fan of Tank Davis.
I already know.
You're a fan of Tank. You could be a fan of Tank. Don't talk down on me. Don't try to water down my brand and to uplift him. Hold him accountable. Don't try to come here and hold the messenger accountable. Hold him accountable. How about that? Hold that man accountable. That boy be making up stories, boy. He'd lead y'all all types of pipe dreams. And nobody want to hold him accountable. Derry Choice, my brother in Super Chat, dropping that half a dub on your boy Blue. He said, why out of all God's creation and monkeys so triggering? If Tio said let's see which dog gets the bone, no one would care. I love monkeys. The spider monkey is my favorite. Derry Choice, well, you got to understand.
Spider monkeys are cool, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, they are. But you got to understand, those words was created for black people as a derogatory term. It's just like all these words, the meanings, when you look at it from that standpoint, right? The N-word, the actual meaning, does that really describe who we are as a people, as a person? No. Does black even describe us as a people? No. Right? We're melanated beings. We're not black. We're not the color black, like my hat. We're melanated beings, right? But everything was created as an insult. And our people actually paid. We have people, our ancestors paid with their life for words. Speak the certain word in a certain era and time, those words can cost you your everything and your family. So yes, you might not look at it, might not mean nothing to you. But guess what? To us, it's offensive. So don't tell us what's offensive and what's not offensive. Respect it.
And to T.O., it's offensive. That's why he said it.
That's why he said it.
Point.
And
he said it with the understanding of what it meant. When he said it with the intention. So the intention behind the word means everything. You know that. I know you know that, Derek. That's right.
And on top of that, that's why he said there's a line he won't cross.
Right.
If he knew, like Clay said, tomato head might not mean nothing to us. It might just be hilarious. It might be like, bro, what are you talking about? Tomato head. What does that mean?
We come to find out that in Honduras, or wherever he's from, I can't remember where he's from.
Right, Honduras, yeah.
In Honduras, it's the worst word. It's the closest word to the N word that you can say to a dark skinned person. We're gonna be like, oh, that's what that means. Now this word is gonna have some different weight on us. We're gonna want to see him in a different way. We might even let it slide right quick, thinking it was sweet. Find out 3 days later, somebody educated us. Like, what? Next time we see him, it's gonna be a whole different conversation. Period.
All facts. What's good with you, Carl?
Salute, Blue. Salute, Clay. What up?
What's good with you,
Carl? What's good with you, family?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you clear.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want the window rolled up?
I rolled up. My bad. Hold up, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right, love you. I'll see you when you get back up here. Hey, yeah, man. Oh, man, I think that was yesterday, man. I was trying to get on. And it's crazy because I can't even remember off the top of my head what the topic was about. But, yeah, I'm agreeing with you tonight, Blue, about that T.O., man. That looked real corny, nasty. And what's my man say? Musty energy. That was all that, man. Tio was 100% wrong. He now that's what you call not taking accountability.
Hold on.
In his face.
Yeah.
These guys asked him in his face. And his reply, let's say bump his reply, he started stuttering. When they asked him, he started stuttering. Like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't get it messed up. And I know y'all might be thinking a lot of people supporting Ryan. And like I told people before, Ryan could eat a big, you know what I mean, and go about his life. My only defense was with Ryan was, the other stuff. But when it came to that racist and all that, man, I don't support that at all. I got two beautiful daughters that I preach this to every day. You know what I mean? Like on a regular. You know what I mean? Like I'm their ears to the street, and I want them to learn the wrong things. So I ain't gonna front that T.O. thing. That mess with T.O. like I ain't never messed with T.O. like that anyway. I respected his game, his fighting skills, but I ain't never respect nothing that he ever talked about anyway. He ain't never talk about nothing that made us boxing fans say, "Woo, yo, T.O. know what he talking about." All he do is hate on every fighter that you bring inside to his father and him. They don't have nothing nice to say about him anyway. So I mean, I never bumped with T.O. like that anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said before, he has. I'm not. Some people might want to call him racist. I have my personal feelings towards it. I'm not going to say if he is or if he isn't. I'm not going to say he is because I don't know him personally like that. But I'm going to say that at the minimum, you're willing to say anything for some attention, bro. You're willing to do and say anything for some attention, and that's a dangerous person. Somebody who has no line they won't cross just to get some energy right quick, and they feel like they don't care. Somebody who don't care about you, it's fair, but you shouldn't treat them like somebody who cares about you. You know what I'm trying to say? If that makes any sense. Like it's a free country.
No, that make a lot.
You're allowed to feel like black people are beneath you or whatever it is that it is. That's your freedom to do that. But I'm also not going to be a simp and sit here and act like I got some respect for you, like I can respect somebody who ain't got no respect for me, bro. Period. You know what I mean?
And you know another sad part about it? Hey, Blue, I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about this, Blue. Real talk. T.O. in that same interview basically told us, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but I'm trying to make some sense out of it. He future ducked Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
He future ducked Shakur.
I did a video about that.
Like, that didn't make no sense. He don't want to be the one that gives Shakur his first loss, but he got nothing nice to say about Shakur.
Right. Mm-hmm. Make it make sense.
But he wanted, but he willing to give Tank his first loss. He willing to give Terrence Crawford his first loss, but he just not willing to give Shakur Stevenson his first loss.
Yeah, talking about the boy went to the roof. He wanted to jump off the roof.
That's nonsense. The thing. He ain't talking about giving Tank his first loss. He just wanted that payday. And Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, because Tanker.
He wanted.
Look, I've seen a lot of.
He wanted the payday from Tank.
He wanted
the payday from Tank, and he wanted the payday from Crawford. That's it.
100%.
And Blue. I think we got a delay. That's why I feel like I'm cutting you off.
Yes,
I think we got a delay. And because I'm up here, the service up here too. But in Blue, I wanted to say, like, for all of us to be saying that we want these type of fights, we really, really, really should be pushing up for Keyshawn and him. Keyshawn said he don't got no problem going to 140. Or just push up for fights for him. Because he really, I get it that he went up to 140. He fought Jermaine Taylor. But let's be for real about it, man. Like, he got a lot of butt cheeks on his own resume too. Like, besides the 2 or 3, the two big names. Like, and I get it. He called him at the right time.
Yep.
He don't want to fight Keyshawn. Remember that whole thing with Keyshawn was the one
like
Clay said earlier. Keyshawn was the one that had to check his daddy and was saying what he said. Right. and that whole situation, he ain't say. Remember, he tried to sit there like Clay said with the Bruce Lee book and
try to act like he was cool, and Keyshawn confronted him right there on the stage.
Silly, right?
He tried to be like water on the stage. Remember?
Right. And so it just tells you he only want to fight Tank and Terrence Crawford because the splash, it makes a splash, right? The Tank fight, he know he's gonna get money off it, and Terrence Crawford, he know it's a splash, so Turkey Al Sheik is gonna pay him. So that's the only reason he want them to fight. Trust me, if he could at this point in time, if he could,
you know who I want to see him fight.
But check this out: if he could, guess what? He'll fight. He'll tell the world he want to fight Canelo. Yep. But the thing is, so he knows Canelo's never going to acknowledge him. So what he trying to do? It's Latino pride, and he trying to hinge his wagon to Canelo Alvarez. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But what he don't know is
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So what he don't know is that Canelo Alvarez and fighters like that, they're gonna push back when they hear stuff like this. Right? I don't know if Canelo feels this way or not. I don't know if Canelo says these things or not. But I know one thing: Canelo is smart enough to understand his brand, and he understands that that's a smudge and a smear on his brand, and he ain't trying to have that. He ain't gonna align himself with people like that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. To in my opinion, you guys let me know what you think about this. Right? Fighters come into the boxing game, for boxing their whole lives. They go through the amateurs, they become professionals, and I believe they all had visions of themselves being champions. They all had it. They all had visions of themselves becoming unified, undisputed champions. They wanted to be put in the same conversation with their favorite fighters, whoever inspired them to be in boxing, and that's what they came into it. But then they started to get a whiff of the politics and started to have some understanding of all of the games that they may have to play, and they had to make decisions. And a lot of them have overcommitted towards the politics. They've overcommitted towards the antics. They haven't balanced it out properly. In other words, they've strayed away from the actual fighting and staying busy fighting, and they've gone way too far towards the antics, and they start doing things that's uncharacteristics of them. Like, we look at them like the Teofimo that fought Lomachenko in comparison to the Teofimo we're looking at today is a complete different Teofimo. Right? Like the Teofimo who fought Lomachenko was like, I want to fight the best. I want to be a champion, undisputed. I want to be this great fighter. This Teofimo don't even care about fighting that much no more. And when he fights, you can tell by the performances in the ring. When he got in there with Sandro Martin, when he got in there with Steve Clagg, even when he got in there with Jermaine Ortiz, you see him digressing because he's gone away from the boxing. He's had some sort of mental epiphany to where he's like, yo, bro, boxing don't matter. Money matters, and what do I got to do to get the money? What do I got to do to get the pay-per-view to over $1 million? Or if I got to sell my soul and say something crazy and offend a whole race of people, or step to people and risk my ass getting whooped, it's worth it. And it looks like he has a father who's co-signing that shit, and it's just going to end up being bad for him if he doesn't come back to boxing, because it seems like you're going away from boxing and you're jumping to something else that we're all trying to figure out what it is.
It's just like this, right? You know what happened when he lost to George Kambosos, right? That's what started it. As a matter of fact, right before he fought Kambosos, remember, he started trying to be political. What he thought was beating Lomachenko was gonna catapult him into the same conversation as a Canelo Alvarez or a Tank Davis, and it didn't, right? And so then he started trying to make, which is understandable, business decisions, right? Remember, him and his dad, they lied. Remember, they said that. Remember, him and Bill was on there negotiating the fight, and then he said, "Well, we gonna get $10 million to fight Kambosos in Australia." So Bill was like, "Okay, well, hey, listen, if they offer us $10 million to fight Kambosos in Australia, we gonna take it." So after the fight, so Bill said, "Let's just be clear. After the fight, we gotta fight, right? We gonna."
Yeah, that dog on fire up in there. That dog on fire up in there. While he's getting it together, we got 300 people damn near up in here. Let's get those likes up. Well, we at 292, but let's get the likes up.
Get the likes up to 500. So hold on. So when he remember, so Bill was like, so after you fight Kambosos and beat him, then we got to fight for undisputed. And he was like, yeah. And remember, Bob Arum, remember this now. This and salute to a great brother Carlos Dixon dropping that dub.
Salute, Carlos.
On this in the super chat. Appreciate you, Carlos Dixon. So remember Bob Arum said, Chris Legg, what's up, family? Remember Bob Arum said that Teo, and this is when Teo really started going off the wagon, when Bob Arum exposed this. Remember Bob Arum said Teo and Kambosos was in cahoots. Remember he said they was allegedly in cahoots with each other to make sure the purse bid went to a certain number. They didn't agree on the fight. Remember he was like, we didn't value that fight, and they refused. Right, so he said that they was in cahoots with each other to make sure they didn't agree on the fight, so that it could go to a purse bid, so they could get the most money possible. And Teo didn't like that. Remember, and then Teo started talking about what Top Rank only favors the black fighters and all of that. And then he lost to Kambosos. And remember, Bob Arum said Teo could do what he want because at the end of the day, we still got our whatever percentage from him, so he could fight wherever he want, whoever he want. But he still got to pay us, right? And then remember, Bob Arum said that he said that Eddie Hearn. He said no promoter is going to bid on that fight. And remember, Bob Arum got mad at Eddie Hearn because no promoters was supposed to bid on that fight. And then Eddie Hearn went and bid on the fight. And Bob Arum was like, "What are you doing?"
I remember that.
He was like, Bob Arum was like, "Bro, we can't have them being in cahoots with each other to not agree on fights purposely to go to purse bids. What are you doing?" Triller came out of nowhere.
Right.
Triller is not in boxing, but if you have any sort of license to promote, you can bid on a fight once it goes to a purse bid. Triller didn't know what they was doing, and they just seen Teofimo Lopez coming off of that.
Triller in boxing blue. I got Triller.
Yeah, and Triller bid $5 million for that fight. Remember they because
no, I ain't talking about.
All they knew was Tito just beat Lomachenko,
right?
And they wanted to be in the mix, and they bid $5 million for that fight, which just gave Bob Arum and Top Rank an even bigger percentage. But then Triller dragged it because you know what they was doing, and then they dropped the ball, and it went to the next highest bidder, which was Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
And then Tito lost and then started blaming Eddie Hearn. Oh, you set me up, remember? You set me up, you did this, you did it. And Eddie Hearn like, bro, you the one that had to fight.
Right.
We how'd I set you up? You fought in New York, like you always do. Right? You dropped the ball. How did I set you up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And from my point of view, Blue, I think that he lost that Kambosos fight fair and square. That is a prime example of when they say styles make fights. Kambosos was fighting the same exact fight that Teo was fighting. The same moves that Teo was doing in that ring, Kambosos was doing. The only thing about it, Kambosos had more attitude with his. Teo thought he was just going whitewashing. He thought that was a cherry pick.
Right, because Kambosos was hungry. That was his opportunity in the state, Madison Square Garden, for a title, for unified belt. He chunked, and remember, see, Teo he played himself.
He definitely played himself.
Remember the IBF? He said, "Oh, I had to fight my mandatory," and then Darryl Peoples, the IBF, came out and was like, "No, you didn't. We gave Bob Arum and Top Rank the okay and the permission to negotiate a Devin Haney fight for unification.
100%.
You didn't have to take this fight. You chose to take this fight, and that's when Bob Arum was like, because they was in cahoots with each other to do this. And remember, he did that interview on a specific platform. He did that interview on a specific platform and they did talking about they was getting $10 million to fight Kambosos in Australia. And that was before they even went to a purse bid anything. So that raised Bob Arum antennas like, so y'all already negotiating behind the scenes for a fight with Kambosos. Why? When you can fight Devin Haney. And 100%. That's why, remember Bob Arum, because Bob Arum always wanted to sign Devin Haney. So remember Bob Arum after that, when he lost, that's why Bob Arum told Kambosos, you either fight Lomachenko or you give us the opportunity to sign Devin Haney. you got to fight Devin Haney. You'll sign Devin Haney, or you don't have a deal because Kambosos and Lou DiBella don't have a network. So they don't have a network. So go ahead.
Hold up. No, go ahead, Blue. Because mine's going in and out. It was going in and out for a minute.
I'm going to say this as
that
well.
Last part,
I'm going to say this as well. As far as Teofimo was concerned, in that fight with Kambosos was concerned, you know, I hear the COVID, you know what I mean, all the things that they said. Him and his father said that was the reason why they lost that fight. But conveniently, that was also the first fight you saw Teofimo start showboating and becoming the takeover and taking off his shirt and trying to fight Kambosos on the stage and getting caught up in the antics. He started to feel himself from that Lomachenko fight and got exposed by trying to be so caught up in the ring and get this guy out of here in 1 or 2 rounds because he was the takeover. He got caught. He got clipped and he got put on his pockets early in that fight. Now, I know he's going to try to, I mean, he's definitely saying that he was sick and we don't know what it was and this and that. But I'll tell you what, I argue that if it is what you said it was, then you would have stayed and you would have stayed at 135 and rematched Kambosos. You would have stayed at 35 and rematched Kambosos, or you would have stayed and petitioned for a fight to fight against Devin Haney. You would have looked for redemption at 135 if what you're saying is true. But instead, you moved up to 140. You got up out the way because you didn't. It would look like from the outside looking in, you ain't want the smoke with Kambosos, and you ain't want the smoke with Devin Haney, so you wanted to leave, right? Teo lost.
That's another thing.
From boxing, bro. He disconnected from what was going to make him great, bro, and he got really. His feelings got hurt. Where his stardom the argument he was trying to make about him being a pay-per-view star and trying to level up blew up in his face against Kambosos. And then he started to have a little hissy fit, started saying things like he's going to retire for boxing. He's not getting paid enough. He really never healed from that Kambosos loss. And he really ain't going to heal because he never went back to go get it back. And now it's become a whole entire Teofimo antic train up until the present day that we're looking at him just digress in many ways and turn into a heel with no reward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then y'all got to take in the fact that when around the time when he kept telling people that he was undisputed, everybody in the world knew that Devin Haney had the WBC. Everybody. So even to this day, look how delusional he is. He going around telling people that he the first one that did it. Bruh. Oh, hey, Blue, this is another thing I wanted to say to you. Terrence Crawford wouldn't have only 2 fights for undisputed. You got to think about it. Jamel Charlo is the lineal champion still. Jamel Charlo never lost his lineal belt. So he still will have to do 3 fights at 154 to be undisputed. Because either way you put it, Jamel Charlo going to get a shot. Because he still is the lineal champion.
Yeah, but Jamel is just champion in resets. So
no, I'm talking about the lineal champion.
Yeah, but he still
the lineal champion.
He still lost his place. Terrence Crawford take that if he fight for all the belts and win.
I know, but see how you said that Jamel Charlo is champion in recess?
Yeah, he's a lineal champion, but Terrence Crawford wins. It's going to start a new. It's just going to start a new chain of linealship. Because
no, I understand, but I just think that's how they would get Jamel Charlo his shot, no matter what. Because you got to think about Jamel Charlo. That is a bad boy at 154. No matter what Canelo did to him at 154, that dude.
The thing is, Terrence Crawford will still be an undisputed 3-division champion. Now, Jamel Charlo argument, the world argument can be, but he ain't the lineal champion, right? You got to
right.
Rightfully
no,
so.
You have
rightfully so, but and it's a possibility. You know, they could build towards it because if Canelo never had no intentions, if Canelo never had no intentions,
my bad. It's a delay, like I said.
It's the delay. If Canelo never has no real intentions of fighting Terrence Crawford, well, Terrence Crawford can get 3 fights in Jermell Charlo being one of them. He beat Sebastian Fundora. He beats, obviously, we hypothetically speaking, you beat Sebastian Fundora. You beat Tim Tszyu, Bakram Mataliev winner, right? And then after that, if Canelo's not trying to fight you, you fight and defend against Jermell Charlo. You beat Jermell Charlo. It's good storyline. 3 fights and you up out of here. And the thing is, the most important part about it all, though, is that Jermell Charlo got to get active and have serious fights while Terrence Crawford is doing that. Because otherwise, nobody's going to call for it. Out of sight, out of mind.
But they all not moving yet. Jermell about to get his feet wet with PBC soon. But this another thing I wanted to say about the 154, like 154, and I'm talking about all the 154s. I'm talking about Terrence Crawford. I'm talking about Jermell Charlo, Earl Spence. All of them better jump on Sebastian right now before that man know how to carry more weight with that height and start learning his distance. Because I'm not gonna lie, if Sebastian Fundora just get a little bit more serious, and because every fighter you do what's work for you, and we see what worked from Fundora. If he sharpen those tools up and just a little bit more and keep it that way, and not trying to please everybody and fight the way he want to fight. Like this, let's just say if Sebastian Fundora want to say, I'm going in this fight to win. I'm not looking for no knockout, no nothing. I just want to win. It's hard for somebody to beat him, even now.
I've been saying it.
A lot of people gonna keep on saying that's a bad boy to beat. And if he learn how to carry more weight with that height, that gonna be a hard task.
Carl, earlier I was saying that, right? I was pretty much saying what you were saying earlier. I pretty much was saying that Sebastian is on the verge. The way he found some success, I feel like him and his father, they attributed that win against Tim Tszyu to him standing behind that jab. He got away from it at times, and that's when he paid. That's when the fight looked crazy. That's when Tim Tszyu looked like he was about to piece him up because he got away from it. So I'm going to give you this to look at. Gabrielle Fundora, his sister, in her last fight, he got real disciplined behind that jab all of a sudden. It's reasonable to argue that as a family, as a team, they've tapped into it. They've tapped into this jab. We haven't seen Sebastian Fundora since he fought Tim Tszyu, but it's been a while in between these fights. There's a chance that the Sebastian Fundora we see when he fights Terrence Crawford is a whole nother animal. That's why I tell everybody all this. Terrence Crawford is supposed to walk easy fight for Terrence Crawford. We don't know what it is yet. Terrence Crawford once said, I don't know if this is going to be my easiest fight I ever fought or if it's going to be the best I've ever fought, because I've gotten in the ring with who I'm supposed to lay down and it'd be the hardest fight. And I've gotten in the ring with the dude who's supposed to be the hardest fight of my life, and it was the easiest fight of my life. He just doesn't know until he gets in the ring. Styles make fights, and it's important to understand that. 6'6", 80-inch arm reach is a complicated fight. I don't care what you tell me. And I'm telling you, that's the reason why Errol Spence and his team have taken so long to come to an understanding of when they're going to sign that contract and make that fight happen with Sebastian. They're sitting there going, man, 14, 18-month layoff, that is not a tune-up fight. That's not the fight that's coming back.
I ain't going to lie. I think Earl built like that. I ain't even going to
I'm talking about his team. I'm not talking about him.
I think Earl don't believe that.
I'm talking about the people who have invested interest in his career being in it. They're sitting here like, I hear you, champ. I know, champ. But they're sitting here like, yo, we might want to put you in there with a tune-up. Let's get you right. I know you don't like tune-ups, but this is a whole different energy.
I'm not gonna lie, Clay. I'm with you on that. I wish Earl can just say, let me just get my feet wet. Because but you know what's gonna be crazy about Earl's career if he keep going down this path? Let's just say if he start winning. Let's just say if he lose a couple too, but you know what's gonna be nasty about his career? This guy never took no tune-up. If he stay on this path of just keep taking big fights after big fights until he hang it up, that right there is
like a downfall, right? It could be a downfall to a career that could have been like
Right.
better than when it would end. Right.
Earl needs to go punch somebody in the face and be able to punch somebody in the face and be able to get away with things that he can't get away with top dogs. He needs somebody like that, even though he feels like I don't need no tune-up. And that tell you a lot about him. His mind. That's why I said I don't think he messed up over this Terrence Crawford loss. If he's still trying to go into a fight, no matter with who, and long as ain't no tune-up, that man mind ain't messed up. That don't show me no guy that beat down over a fight that he just lost. Do I think that he was going through something after he lost? Yeah. But I think when he got his wits back, he jumped back onto being Earl Smith, like man down. I really believe he got that mentality. But like you said, Clay, what could be the downfall of that? Too much big fights can hurt you, bro. He could jump in there, even though he won it so bad.
Hey, Clay, take over.
And with 50,
yeah, I got you, Cameron.
And at 54, Clay. At 54. Right. 54, you got to think about it.
You got a long layoff. You ain't for that 154 yet, and you're going against the most awkward, stylistically made matchup for you.
And Fundora is light on his feet. He light on his feet for a big guy. He not no flat-footed fighter. I seen him getting out of them ways. It's just only time he kept getting messed up when he's getting complacent with the uppercut, and that's why I was like, dang, Tim Tszyu is really rocking him with that left. He a sucker for that left. The same way, the same point that he got knocked out with. Oh, this is what I meant to say to you on Blue. Now that we on it. Oh my God. And it's trying to leave my brain right now. That's crazy because it just hit my head. Oh yeah. Man. Dad, I had to hit you. I was dying to get on yesterday, man. About the dang. Tell me what you just said just now, because this thing trying to leave my brain.
Okay.
What you did? What?
I was just saying.
We were just talking about Fundora.
Yeah, talking about Fundora and Errol. No tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be that could be a downfall, Errol. Not that it's gonna be. I don't know. What else was we saying? That's pretty much what the conversation was about.
God.
Yesterday we were talking about Devin. God. Obviously, we were definitely talking about Devin yesterday. I don't know if that's what it is or
no. Oh my God. I hate when I get a brain fart, man. I really hate that, man. Because I was dying. I was like, yo, it ain't nothing bad. It was about the Earl. Oh my God. Because I was saying if Earl fight Fundora. Oh yeah, no. This thing I wanted to say to y'all yesterday. If Earl and Fundora fight, right? And Fundora ended up fighting Earl the same way he fought
Tim Tszyu.
He ended up fighting the same way he fought Tim Tszyu.
Right.
This my personal preference. This is why I think that Earl will knock Fundora out.
Right.
I truly believe, just like they say, when you get up to 154 and they start landing on big punches, you got to think about it. Earl, this is his first time having his body to be able to breathe, not stuck down to 147. So his body be able to breathe. So this is what I was saying. The reason why I think Earl will stop him, I truly believe that Earl is as big as a body puncher as Canelo is at this weight and up. And the reason why I say that, because I overheard Sean Porter saying how hurt he was by Earl Spence punch. He was at 147. You got to think about it. Earl Spence sucked himself down for years. And I said, dang, I want to tell Blue, Earl is a dangerous fight for Sebastian than Sebastian is for Earl. Because y'all got to think, Earl is the only one that we know that is a pressure fighter that really wasn't getting hit as much, getting in the inside. And he know how to work the body really, really good. And I think that would be Sebastian Fundora downfall just off the fact that he's thin. That's why I brought up that if he learned how to carry more weight. Because he when he fought Tim Tszyu, he was thin. He that was no big, tall. He was tall and winky.
I agree with you. I think Sebastian Fundora definitely brings that. He has a, he's a skinny dude. His core looks real susceptible to a body puncher. If a body puncher gets in there with Sebastian Fundora, it could be like his kryptonite. That could be the one thing that people haven't started chopping down. That's probably what Tim Tszyu probably wish he would have committed to a little bit more. He was landing a lot of clean lefts, and he was landing a lot of those shots, but he really never attacked the body that well, right? And he allowed Sebastian Fundora to really, he never tested his conditioning and his durability, you know what I'm saying, to see what he could really take. And I think that's what Errol will definitely go in there and try to do. I think that's what Terrence is going to do. I think Terrence ain't going to be headhunting. I think he's going to be chopping the tree down, trying to slow him down, trying to make it to where he can't use that distance, and try to keep this a mid-range fight to where he can be in position to hurt Sebastian Fundora without having to overexert himself and take too many big risks to take shots. Because when you're fighting against a Sebastian Fundora, now you got to start thinking about, all right, for me to get busy and land those shots like Tim Tszyu did. Tim Tszyu caught that elbow to the head because he was trying to make opportunities to get this dude out of here. He didn't want this dude to get no momentum, and because of that, he ran into an elbow, because just stylistically where when his hand is up like this, his elbows is right over your head. So you're jumping in the shots trying to make it happen. He actually jumped into that elbow, you know what I'm saying, to make that happen. So if he would attack the body more and committed more to the body, he wouldn't have probably got hit in the head like that. He got hit in the head like that because he was jumping up trying to catch him with hooks. I agree with you. I think that Sebastian Fundora is susceptible if he fights that way, like you said. If he steps into the ring, like he fought Tim Tszyu, he got problems. Now, obviously, the fear and what we got to see what's going to happen is he coming to fight that way? Has he finally seen the difference? And I think that fight provided him, if they're really doing their video and they studying the video of that fight and the footage, they'll see that their success came at controlling that distance, and the fight was close, and your downfall almost came because of your addiction to fighting a mid-range fight, for staying inside and out power punching people. If you fall back from that and force this fight to be a fight to where you're forcing Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, if that was the guy you're going to fight next, forcing them to figure out the Rubik's Cube, figure out the puzzle, get inside this dude punches and make them pay for everything they trying to get on the way in, and we're looking at a different fight potentially.
But I ain't going to front, Clay. I don't think that Fundora
will.
I don't even think I don't even think Fundora could not even one round that can Fundora say, this round right here I'm about to make, and I say this, and I don't want nobody to take. I know what Terrence Crawford did with Earl. You know what I mean? A lot of people in the chat about to go crazy. I don't think that Fundora can do it. Not even one round. Try to push Earl or Terrence Crawford back, because I think that they power. I think they got enough to really sit him down with one shot. Like, I think Earl. I just believe. I just truly believe that's why Earl jumped in that ring, because I think he started seeing the same old thing that I'm like, if Earl just worked the body, and we ain't gonna see and say that Earl high guard just because Terrence Crawford pierced through it. Nobody else couldn't pierce through it. Not even a rough Sean Porter, really. But Sean, you get what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, like, Fundora don't move around as much and swing like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford could fight like Tank Davis, could punch off the move. A lot of people can't punch off the move, like on a move. A lot of people can't do that. So it takes kind of fighter like that to beat Earl. And that's what I think. You know what I mean? But I could be 100% wrong.
I mean, yeah, of course, anything could happen. I think Earl jumped in that ring because he was supposed to jump in that ring. I think he came to Vegas to jump into the ring, and if he would have not jumped in there, it would have looked like he was worried about Fundora in some kind of way. I think most people thought Tim Tszyu was going to walk away the winner of that fight, and I think the whole purpose for Errol Spence was to fight Tim Tszyu. But I think you get put in that position to where Sebastian Fundora won. I don't care who it is. I got to show everybody. I don't care who it is. But I'm telling you, I think the length of time it's taken for Sebastian Fundora and Errol to make a fight has shown you that there was thoughts about Sebastian Fundora, that there was hesitation. And once again, not by Errol Spence. Not by Errol Spence. I'm sure he's a dog and ready to fight anybody. But I think the powers that be that are controlling his career were like, hold up, man, let's just make sure this is what we want to do. Let's make sure this is what we want to do. And I think they were able to convince him potentially. Now, let's remember, this fight hasn't been made yet. Sebastian Fundora and Terence Crawford hasn't been made yet, but it looks like there's resistance from the PBC side or whoever's running Errol Spence's side to make this fight happen, because he's pretty much the A side in this fight. Although he's not the champion, he's the A side. It's up to him and the PBC to send out this offer to Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian's been waiting on this offer, and there's been something holding it up. We don't know what it is. It might just be money. Maybe they just ain't got the money, or it could be some hesitation on, let's see if we can wait Errol out a little bit and see if he can calm down, or let's see if we can get Terence to fight harder at this fight, and we can kind of like save Errol from himself and do what we want to do, which is reacclimate him back into the 154-pound, into boxing. Let's get him right, because we want him to be a champion again. I think it's interesting to see how it plays out. Definitely.
And I can say this proudly. I ain't like no other boxing fan. I'm 100% a diehard Earl fan. I've been an Earl fan since he started. Like I can go back to every last one of his fights. And I don't want nobody to think that I'm capping or that I'm saying this. But boy, if 54 would be in trouble if Earl Spence any fight. Let's just say if it's a tune-up fight, but a nice tune-up fight. If Earl show that he still got his punch resistance, and he fighting just the way he's fighting at 147. That right there alone would be a problem with fighters at 154.
It's just my only thing that I push back on this whole fight with is the development. I feel like development has been underrated for the past couple, like 10 plus years. People don't believe in the development no more, and that mentality that Errol has, and no tune-ups and only the big fights.
I don't like that.
That requires a certain bit of activity, in my opinion, right? Like a certain bit of activity is what's going to contribute, because you still got to elevate. You still have to evolve. You have to develop and become a better fighter. And sometimes this old blueprint that you're looking at, we got to remember, like, I don't want to go into UFC, but I'll just say like this, right? The more a fighter fights, the better he gets. If I gotta prepare, if a fighter is preparing for a fighter and he has all this video footage, he's coming in and prepared for the 5-year, the Errol Spence of 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. He's prepared for that fighter, bro. Your development is super important, bro. Your activity makes you get better. It makes you see different looks, makes you adjust, motivates your team to implement certain things into your training camp that gets you better from them things that were weak in the fight before. But when you're sitting on 14 months, 18-month layoff, we don't know who we're going to see on the night of that fight. So Errol Spence is somebody who we're hoping holds that same pedigree he had 2.5 years ago. But we know that the one thing that's undefeated in this boxing game and in life that nobody's figured out how to beat yet is what? Father Time. Father Time is undefeated, bro. He doesn't care about all your ambitions, all the things that you used to do. He's gonna wake you up one morning, make you realize who you are and what your age is. You know what I mean? That's one of the things with the Better Beeve and Bivol fight, right? I look at that fight and I said, one morning, Better Beeve is gonna wake up and he's gonna realize I'm 40 fucking years old. You feel me? We just hope it don't happen before
y'all moving out.
We hope he doesn't fight.
Y'all coming out?
Yeah, bro. Okay. We hope that doesn't happen.
No.
He fights Bivol. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to hope, that Better Beef doesn't get old before he fights Bivol so we can see the fight. That's why timing is so important on these fights. When these fights happen are just as important as the fight happening. Matter of fact, when the fight happens is more important than the fight actually happened. Because you get to a certain point where the fight doesn't even need to happen no more if it's not going to be in the right time. When these guys are at their peak, when they've reached their zenith of physical and skill set coming together to make the best version of those fighters. So with the Errol, there's always going to be questions because he's taking such a long hiatus. And he's coming off a horrible fight that, you know, a fight where he really got dominated in Terrence Crawford. So it's like, where has he been? What has he been doing? Now, if he's been training like a dog and getting ready since he lost against Terrence Crawford, then maybe we will see a great Errol Spence. But if he hasn't really been there, and he's just, he doesn't even have a trainer that I know of yet. We have, you know what I mean? There's questions. Him and Derek James went in two separate directions. We got to be honest. Like, we don't know who we're going to find and who we're going to see on the night he comes back. We don't know. You know what I mean?
I gotta take a lot of things back, Clay. Listen to after you talk right there. And I'm taking it back in a good way though. Like not to shit on Earl. But yeah, now that you said all that just makes perfect sense. Yeah, and I wish somebody could talk Earl into getting like a tune up, bro. Just
wouldn't hurt him at all, bro.
Like, I ain't even box. Even if it's I ain't even gonna say if it's a guarantee.
Mark Miller, 40 years old in boxing. Let's be honest. 40 years old in boxing is old, bro. Can we be honest?
Yeah.
We don't try to disrespect 40-year-olds. I'm well over 40, but I'm not in shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm in decent shape. Huh?
No, you look like a big dude. You like a big brawling dude. You don't look like fat dude. I tell my wife that all the time. I said it's a difference between being big and fat.
Right.
A motherfucker that fat, them the ones that, you know what I mean, like when they turn this way and it look like they struggling and when they talk you don't hear clearly. Yeah, that's a fat swap. Yeah. No, you look like a big brawler dude. I'm 41. Well, I'm about to be 41 December.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand.
What you did at 32 ain't what you necessarily trying to do at 41. You know what I'm saying? What they say, when you get older, the older we get, the larger the chances you might get cut. Right? As we getting older, them fades we get greasy. Like we start cutting corners and start making things happen because we wake up in the morning and talk ourselves into going to work, talk ourselves into getting out of bed. You know what I'm saying? We don't just get up like we used to, roll out the bed and just be ready to go. You know what I mean? And sitting still.
Oh, for real, because you sounding like me.
You look at your shoes.
Debating if you want to go to work, knowing that you need to go to work.
Yeah,
debating if you go walk out of here, get the water, man.
If you see me fall down, don't just come and grab me and make me stand up. I might tell you to chill. Give me a minute. I'm gonna take my time and get up. I ain't just gonna fly and just get my ass. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. You do what you doing. I got this. Give me a second, bro. I'm about to get up. I'm right there with you. Chill. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So Father Time is undefeated, brother, and it's going to be interesting to see Errol Spence come back and see how he deals with that, especially dealing with the competition that we're used to seeing fight.
And I don't know why, Clay. Like I said, I ain't trying to mess up nobody's dreams, but I really just don't. I something in my body making me feel like I just don't think Terrence Crawford and Fundora are going to fight. Like, for real,
it might not happen because the money got to be there for Terrence. We know that already. We got to see where Terrence is at with it. Is he back on legacy? Has he left the Canelo Alvarez train? Has he off the Canelo Alvarez train as far as fighting him and making the big payday and putting that in his legacy? Or has he become a fighter who's become more focused on? Because if he's going to fight Fundora, he might as well go look to be undisputed. He might as well go all the way and just go ahead and beat everybody he needs to beat. Does he have that in him? Is that who he's trying to be right now? That's
what I think about to happen. You know what I think about to happen, Clay? Mm-hmm. Like I said, all this is what I think. I think it's not going to be in May. And I don't think it's going to, no, I think it's going to be in September. I think they already started talking because you got to think about it. Terrence Crawford don't talk as much. And like I said, like I'm a boxing fan, so I pay attention to things like Terrence Crawford don't talk as much. And for the last couple of times that I've seen Terrence Crawford talk, I heard him say the name Canelo in himself.
Right.
Something telling me that they in the works of Canelo and Crawford, and I think it's not going to be the 150. I think to be real, I think Canelo was just saying that. I think it's going to be a nice bag. It's going to be a nice bag enough that Canelo will not say no. But I'm not going to lie, I can't see Terrence Crawford beating Canelo.
Listen, I'm a
say,
Bud Crawford fan, so I'm definitely rooting for Bud. I think Bud can do it. Will he? That's a whole different conversation. That's something that we'll see on the night of the fight if it happens. But I agree with you on one thing. Well, I agree with you on pretty much most of what you just said. But I'm going to say that Terrence, I do agree with you. I think in the background there are potential. I think they're getting closer. Yeah. I think they're closer to the Canelo fight than they've ever been. And I think that's going to make a difference as to how they look at the Sebastian Fundora fight. I think the Sebastian Fundora fight is a fight that Sebastian and Leibowitz is pushing harder than Terrence. I think Terrence is really starting to take his position to be like, yeah, I'm the A side, clearly. So I'm going to do this when I feel like doing it. You guys are going to suffer and struggle and wait on me the same way I've had to wait on other opportunities. And when I make my next move, it will be the best move. It's not going to be, you're not going to pressure me into threatening me to strip me of a WBO title, interim title, or whatever the hell you guys think that you guys are going to do. That ain't going to work. I'm at the I could, and it's always going to be held over the whole entire boxing space's head. I could just walk away. I could just stop fighting right now and be in the history books. My money is straight. I've made the right moves with my money. I'm well invested. This is about getting richer and about legacy. So we're not going to let you pressure me into anything. I think that's why Terrence, on that interview he did with Bernie the Boxer, also alluded to that fact when he said, oh, now you guys are coming for me now. Now you got, I remember I wasn't that guy. Remember I wasn't the money. Remember it was Errol that was the money. He's letting it be known. I don't think I forgot about that. So don't think that I'm finna jump and make this fight happen and make this a priority for me. You're going to wait on me now the same thing you got to play me.
He wears heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing we picked out. He wears heart on his sleeve. He don't like to be second.
Yep.
Like, and which he got the right to, because like he said, y'all was going for Earl. And then I don't know what. No, he said it kept getting pushed back, and now y'all want to make up your mind. I'm not even a big Terrence Crawford fan, and I know he don't like that. Right. I know for sure he don't like that. That they even thought about fighting somebody else first, and then try to make him second. He did deal with that a lot in his career.
On him, and then put pressure on him like, yo, you got until this day. Hurry up. I ain't gotta hurry nothing up, bro. You see that extension came in, no problem. That extension came right over, right? Because they know the money's over there. The WBO know the money's with him. Take your time, champ. We know, champ. Take your time. You damn right I'm gonna take my time. Because you take this belt and Fundora can go fight Virgil Ortiz. Or he can go fight somebody else, and we'll see how much money that makes you guys. I'm straight. I got turkey behind me. I got money coming my way, one way or the other.
Right. And Clay, you got to think about, I meant to say this to you too. I'm going to say this before Blue get back on, because I don't want to hear Blue mouth. Do you really think Devin can beat Ryan?
Yes.
Be honest. I'm talking about beat him. That was a Ryan that didn't train.
He can beat Ryan Garcia, yes. 100%.
100%.
We got to remember, although we saw Ryan Garcia, catching Devin the way he did. We saw Devin Haney fighting in a way that he probably shouldn't have been fighting. Devin there is a way for Devin to beat Ryan. Devin is good at that way. He just has to commit and stop having an identity crisis in the ring. Stop trying to be who he's not. He can beat Ryan Garcia. There's a reason why Devin Haney was favored going into that fight. There's a reason. It ain't just because Ryan Garcia wasn't in his right mentality. People have always said they thought Devin would beat Ryan Garcia, and there's a reason behind it. There's the sweet science of boxing that Devin Haney can tap into to beat Ryan Garcia for sure. I believe it. 100%. 100%.
And the only reason I said that too, Clay, to be real. All right, okay, my bad, honey. I'm about to get off in a little bit anyway. Well, look, the only reason I said that, Clay, to be honest, is because it wasn't just the left hook to me. I remember y'all saying styles make fights, and it's hard for me to see unless Devin show us something that we didn't see. Just like you said, he got the athleticism, he got the youth. He got the strength, like I really believe. But if Devin can't show us that he can fight another way, that's why I said what I said. I don't think, because if he's fighting anything,
he can't fight the same way. That's a fact. He can't fight the same way. It has to be a different way. 100%.
He got to put Ryan on his back foot the whole night. I'm talking about the whole night. Even when Ryan tries something, he got to have something waiting for Ryan. in order, like, he cannot let Ryan, because you can imagine if that was a healthy, a focused Ryan, and Devin let him get them spurts off like that.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, no, I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you.
That
I
was
think
my
Devin
problem
has
right
to
there.
fight a different fight. I think Devin has to fight a different fight, but I question as to whether or not the Devin that fought Regis Prograis could beat Ryan Garcia. You understand what I'm saying? A Devin who's establishing a distance, being defensively responsible, turning Ryan Garcia, frustrating Ryan Garcia. Because when Ryan Garcia gets frustrated, he starts to let them left hands go recklessly. He's a one-trick pony when it comes to that left hand. He depends on it, and also you combine the fact that Ryan Garcia just isn't focused on being the best boxer anymore. That he's on his own antic train. You get a hyper-focused Devin Haney who prepared accordingly. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of holes in Ryan Garcia's game there for Devin to take advantage of. There really is. But he's dangerous. That left hand is always going to be what it is. It's always going to be that dangerous punch. It's going to be the shot that Devin needs to stay away from. He doesn't need to be taking them shots clean. And if he approaches that fight the same way he approached that last fight with Ryan, trying to overwhelm him and be the puncher, he's probably gonna get sat on his pockets again and might not get up like he did in the last fight.
Right. I mean, for me, cause when I say word of bond, no lie, Clay. I be talking about boxing so much. Word of bond. My wife's sitting right here. She on the passenger seat. She'll tell you straight up. Like, I talk about it so much because I ain't got no heart.
Oh, Carl, I felt that was coming, guys. Didn't you feel it? The voice started getting distorted. Yeah, man. Devin can definitely beat Ryan Garcia, man. And I think it was 6 ETH _ LM said, he's scared to fight him back, and I don't remember. You were saying something, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I can't fault you for what you're saying. I won't fault you for what you're saying. I have to acknowledge what you're saying, family, because you got to judge a fighter off what they did last, right? His last fight has to hold the weight if you're talking about what you can see him doing in the future. But I think if you are honest with yourself, we can tap into a Devin Haney that we've seen before. We can tap into a different Devin Haney that fought that Ryan Garcia, and we can ask that question, because that Haney that we saw before Ryan Garcia, all those different Haneys, made Haney the favorite going into that fight for a reason. That's all I could say, right? He was the favorite going into that fight based off of the fight he had with Regis, based off of his championship pedigree that he brought to the ring, based on the lack of commitment and lack of focus that we've seen Ryan Garcia bring into the game, that he wasn't getting better. He wasn't committing to the training. He wasn't becoming the best fighter. So in the spirit of that, I have to say it'd be hard pressed for me to sit here and say Devin Haney can't beat Ryan Garcia. That's just not true. I think it's funny to say. I think it's a good shot to throw at him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something to say, right? And I'm not going to be the dude to push back on it, but so much, because that's up to Devin Haney to prove you guys wrong. That's up to Devin Haney to be that different fighter and to get that win and change the mind of the public. I can't do it for him. I ain't no Captain Saver, nothing. You know what I mean? I'm only protecting my interests, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm here for boxing before I'm here for a fighter. But I definitely think going into that fight, when they rematch, it's going to be interesting to watch. And I'm not going in there thinking that Devin can't win. So I'll be honest with you. I'm not going in there thinking Ryan is guaranteed to win. However you want to look at it. I'm looking at it being a way more competitive fight than it was the first time. And we'll see what that looks like. You know what I mean? We'll definitely see what that looks like. And as far as Terrence is concerned, look, Terrence is looking to do something great. It might be against Sebastian Fundora. We know what he really wants, though. It's Canelo Alvarez. And I believe, just to put it to bed, until he gets a definitive answer on what's going on with Canelo, we won't know what's going on with Sebastian Fundora. But the longer he pushes off that Fundora fight, the longer it takes for him to confirm that Fundora fight, the closer I think that means that he is to negotiating something with Canelo. I think the Canelo fight is still there, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's still there. I think it's still right there. We'll find out, though. Yeah, K-Mool, I try. Thank you, man. Let's see. Travis Haney can beat the brakes out of Chump Garcia 100%. Now Ryan's more explosive and quicker than Haney. That would be a hard fight, man. The best fights are the hard fights, man. Those are the best fights. Poncho, Barry Nash, I feel you. What you're saying, that's just how I speak. But one thing is certain, my best friend's brothers back home are African American. I also have nephews and nieces that are half black. Yeah, man. You know, Clay, you're Mosef. Thank you, Ponchoville. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, the race thing is kind of crazy inside this boxing space, man. And I hate to be the dude that that leans on that or anything like that. It's a shame sometimes when it comes up the way that it comes up. But that's because we understand the mentality of the people that's in the boxing, man. And we understand the roots of this. And sometimes it gets crazy. And when people take advantage of those things and say things like we're trying to hit on the belt line and say things, the intention has to be acknowledged. There should be no intention to insult nobody's race or to do that in the spirit of getting a fight. So even if you're not racist, you out of pocket for even playing with that.
All facts.
Welcome back to the champ and the OG of the channel. Blue Blood Sports in the building.
We back. Yeah. That's all facts. You know what I'm saying? It's all facts, man. You know, the thing is, Tio just he knows he's, again, like you said, a person that will say anything for clout or whatever.
Right,
is a dangerous person, man. And he like we always say, Clay. It's one thing doing things unconsciously. It's another thing doing it consciously. When you consciously doing something and you consciously aware of it, that's a problem.
Yeah, man. To him, that was a significant moment in that Mace and Cam interview when he said when he outlined this and articulated it so well that there's 3 words he referred to. Look, there's 3 words you can't say. Right. I was sitting on the belt line. That put perspective on the whole entire conversation. When he said the monkeys, it put the perspective on it. Because before that, maybe you could have argued, look, man, which monkey coming to get? Maybe that was him not thinking about the racial intentions that was behind it. He was just trying to be witty and said something that put him in the wrong. It's like pause, right? You say something, it's pause worthy. We might say pause, but that doesn't mean that you fruity and you feeling like you want a man to touch you in a weird way. You just said something. You said something that we just let you know, hey, yo, pause, bro. Yo, chill. I know, pause. But once we find out later, a week later, that yo, you intentionally said this, knowing that this was the closest way you could say something gay without saying something gay, we're gonna look at you weird. We're gonna be like, what the hell was you showing? You was trying to say something gay? Right. That's what you was trying to do. Oh, that's different, bro. That's not pause worthy. That's right. Come out and keep it real. You gay. We'll accept you. You gay down. It's not about, you know what I mean, you saying something that happened to land on it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Right.
Facts. And so let's get on this. Tank Davis getting a lot of.
Let's get it.
He getting a lot. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on Tank Davis right now to make the fights that the people want to see. And even his fan base right now is starting to push back on specific fights, right? They're no longer, even his, you know, it's not as many as it used to be, you know, the detractors that will come out and say, hey, you know, no, Tank can do whatever he wants. No, they starting to wake up now too, and they starting to look at, you know, the situation and the landscape of things. You're gonna hit your face. You hear my grandbaby? That's my
get it in. It's getting it in. I love it. So it sounds like happiness and good in good times, bro. That's how they supposed to sound. Let's get it.
So now you know, you look at the whole situation, you know, and now people are starting to look at it from a whole different lens. It's like, bro, all right, man, enough is enough with these types of fights. You know, you can try all you want to, you know, to defend the obvious, but it's the obvious. It's no longer, you can't defend it. You can no longer defend these choices of opponents. And here's the thing. Here's where the problem came in, right? The problem came in. I don't know if you saw this, but Tank put up a post, and he announced he coming back in Texas in December, so on and so forth, right? And under the post, I was looking under the post, and so many people under the post was like, bro, we really fighting Lamont Roach? And again, it's no disrespect to Lamont Roach, who took the social media himself and said, "Y'all got me messed up." That's not what it is. It's not about that. People miss the point, and I understand he's indirectly taking taking heat for this decision. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the thing is, he had time. The worst thing that happened with this is time. He had time. This decision, once Lomachenko clearly ducked him, because we know Lomachenko clearly ducked that man, right? Talking about he ain't in the mood to fight. And again, if Loma is saying he wasn't in the mood for the negotiations, the games they were playing, so on and so forth, just get it done. You still had time because you wasn't fighting until November. So what do you mean not in the mood? Because what's going to change in 2025? Only thing changed was the calendar. Right, so they're gonna be the same type of conversation, right? So now you had time to choose a different opponent, and you continuously choosing the same level of opponent. Now the fans and the people are starting to be like, okay, bro, now you peeing on my leg and telling me it's raining.
Because it's all on him. We said it at the beginning of the year, Blue, at the end of last year, right? Getting right before Christmas time, we talked about this. I asked you, as a matter of fact, when I was coming up on the panel with ASA and all them, and I said, listen, man, we've let a lot of things go with Tank, you know what I mean? But is this going to be the year to where we hold the fire to Tank? Well, if we don't see the fights happening this year, is this the year that we're going to hold Tank responsible for the fights we're not seeing? Because we let so much go before, because we acknowledge the power of Floyd. We acknowledge Leonard Ellerby. We acknowledge the game plan that was there, but he supposedly jumped out of that and became his own entity so that he could get in front and making these fights happen. So whatever fights we see Tank in right now, we're going to have to assume those are the fights he chose for himself. And I think the fan base was waiting on that and thought that Tank was going to be that guy to give him the fights, and thought the only reason the fights weren't happening was because of Floyd. And now getting a dose of reality that, damn, we're going back to that same style of matchmaking. We're pulling people up from other weight classes and we're doing this all over again. That's what's happening. Accountability, exactly, Barry Nash. That's what it comes down to. Now it's not Floyd. Now, when you make choices like this, it makes us go back in time now and ask who's really pushing for those fights to happen. We start to ask those questions. Who was really pushing for those fights to happen? Was it Floyd? Was it Floyd protecting Tank? Or was his team more in control than we knew they were? Because it's starting to look real familiar. It's starting to look familiar. This whole Lamont Roach thing is starting to look like Tank of the past.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And salute to Donnie D, 1954, triple OG in the super chat, dropping that cinco on into the super chat. The word gorilla after Monkey cemented his intention. All facts. All facts.
Yeah.
And that's the three. That's the three. That's the thing. Grandma OTG, he said he collected easy checks. Right. Barry Nash said, I'm holding him accountable, of course, and I don't like it. 100. Facts. Chris Legg, brother, he said both Tank and Canelo say it all the time. They call the shots. No one to blame for the cherry picking but them. All facts. You can't, there's nobody to blame for this. And then people get mad because we hold them accountable. No, you have to be held accountable now. Because you are the one, like you said, you call the shots, you the face of boxing, you the big dog on the block. Okay, well then guess what? Along with that comes responsibility that we expecting you to. And again, here's where the problem comes in, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
The sport of boxing is top heavy. So you're not going to get the best versus the best every hour. It's not possible.
100%.
It's not possible, right? You're going to get tune-up type fights, no disrespect to any fighter.
Stay
you're going
busy.
to get warm-ups, right, stay busy fights. You're going to get some competitive fights, and then you're going to get the upper echelon fights, right? The problem with Tank is that we're not getting any of the upper echelon fights. It's consistently the same level of opponents night in, night out. And you 30 with 30 fights. At 30 fights, Canelo is what?
32,
When he was at
33.
when he was
61 fights. No,
when he
no, he
fought
had
Floyd,
64.
when he fought Floyd, he had what 41 fights, 42 fights, something like that.
Yeah, he was up there.
Right. So yeah, I think he had like 40-something fights, right? By the time he fought Floyd.
More than likely.
Right?
It had to be. I'm about to find out right now. You already know that's what I'm looking at.
44, something like that. Right. So the thing is, he was 23 years of age. Right? And if we just look at by the time Canelo Alvarez was 30 years of age, right? Because see, here's another problem. We throw around face of boxing, right? We throw around that word, face of boxing. That has to be earned. And not just through popularity. It has to be earned through fights. So Canelo is 34 years of age, right? So when he was 30, he was 23 when he fought Floyd, right?
Mm-hmm. He was like 22 fights. No, I mean he was like 42 fights, 44 fights into his career at the time.
So 4 years ago. So in 2020 he was 30, right? So by the time Canelo was 30 years of age, Clay, listen to the guys he fought. Now, is there fights that Canelo is not giving us and we hold him accountable? Absolutely. Particularly
only because he's holding those belts, by the way. I just want to make that clear as well. If he wasn't holding those belts, there'd be no pressure coming from him.
And it's only one right now. It's really the Beta Benavidez. The Crawford fight just started to arise, right? But the Benavidez fight is the only fight. That's it. That's all.
Facts.
If he fought Benavidez, win, lose, or draw, we don't really care who he fights after that.
Right.
It's it. It's over, right? But he turned 30 in 2020. Let's look at who he fought. Caleb Smith, unification bout. Sergey Kovalev, he jumped up with. Okay, that was. How would you view that fight? It's not like a gimmick fight. I don't want to say it
wasn't a gimmick fight, but it was a compromised Sergey Kovalev. He wasn't the Kovalev who fought Andre Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's not who he was.
So he fought and now in 2019 he was fighting at 160. Right. Outside of himself.
And a champion.
The best 4 fighters at 160 at that time. Danny Jacobs, Triple G, Canelo, and Demetrius Andrade. Right. He fought Danny Jacobs, Triple G twice, right? And Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay. Keep in mind, at this time he's 27. Mm-hmm. He fought Miguel Cotto, who was aged, obviously.
Right.
But it was a unification bout. But he did fight Cotto, who was aged and coming up in weight. Prior to that, he fought Erislandy Lara. Mm-hmm. That's another top 3 guy in his division. Him, Lara, and Trout was the top 3 guys. The Charlos were starting to make their name, right? But Lara was that guy. He fought Lara. Now, regardless if you thought he won, lost, or draw, whatever, right? He fought him. He fought Floyd Mayweather. We know what that was about, but Floyd was still a pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
Period.
There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The face of boxing at that time.
He was the face of boxing and the best fighter in the world.
Right.
Prior to that, he fought Austin Trout.
Right.
Okay. These Austin Trout, Lara, the best 2 fighters not named Canelo at 154 at the time. Mm-hmm. 160. Danny Jacobs, Triple G, the 2 of the top 3 fighters in the division, not named himself.
Right.
He fought both of them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He fought both of these guys. Then he fought Dimitri Bivol. But I'm just saying by the age of 30. This is who he fought by the age of 30.
Right. Yeah.
And now we had an issue with him not fighting Andrade. But who else was Canelo he's not fighting outside the Charlos? But he was moving up in weight and they were still
the Charlos and Demetrius Andrade is the only areas that you could talk into. And like you said, as far as the Charlo brothers they were just coming up. And Demetrius Andrade, ain't gonna lie, looked funny to me when he didn't fight him. It looked weird. but it is what it is. But other than that, no, he fought everybody.
Ducking.
Yeah,
and Jamal Charlo.
Right. Like
Jamal Charlo and Andre.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I could say he ducked those two dudes, Jamal Charlo and Andre. Right? But for every one of those, he's gave us other ones.
Yeah. He's put in the work and fought who he's supposed to fight for the most part. That's what it comes down to. And unfortunately for Gervonta, and that kid is so talented, bro. And no matter what we say and how we say it, and if we add 100 respectfulies before we start talking about him, it'll never work for these fans. But it is what it is, right? Gervonta has never fought who he's supposed to fight, and you guys know it's the truth,
right?
He's never done it yet, and he's on his last. He's on his last tour, right? He's made it sound like, I'm about ready to retire. I just want to go ahead and knock these last fights out. And right now, at this moment, Lamont Roach is a complete. But it's just not acceptable. It's just not. It is what it is. It's just not. And I know it's bothering him because he's responded to fans talking about it. He doesn't like the energy that's happening. But brother, there's only so much anybody's going to take. Even your fans at some point is going to say something, bro, because they're tired of hearing. I don't think and that's why I say to Gervonta Tank Davis fans, you got to put the pressure on him because you guys are catching hell out here about this. The way y'all fight and defend every little thing that he does. Lamont Roach, he's letting y'all take the blows. Y'all got to stand up and be like, yo, hold up, bro. Nah, bro. You don't understand. We stood on, I got somebody who's close. We know, shout out to Hood Rich. You know what I'm saying? But just knowing that he's even sat there and defending, like, y'all about to see now. Lamont Roach that's not a good look, bro.
Right.
Lamont Roach is not a good look, bro. You owe it to your fans, which is something that I know boxers today have become desensitized to the boxing space because these fans are so wishy-washy. They really are fearful, especially black fighters are fearful to lose because they know their fans are so here today, gone tomorrow that they're like, bro, what's gonna happen? I fight this fight, I'll lose. Y'all gonna throw me in the trash. So why do I need to fight somebody who's going to be competitive for you guys? You guys have lost your credibility with these fighters. You know what I'm saying? You really have. And when it comes to a fighter like Tank, who's been on top of the game for as long as he's been on top of the game, I don't want to say he's scared of losing, but I'm going to say his motivation and his need to please you guys ain't there like you guys' loyalty to him, because he should be wanting to give you guys the fights at this point. At least you guys. F us, right? We're haters. We don't care. You know what I mean? Damn what we want. But for you guys, he should be like, I'm going to do this for my fans. So for him to have somebody hit him on a Twitter and be like, yo, I F with you, bro. I ain't going to hold you, but I can't even deal with this, bro. And for you to respond to that kid with, now shut the F up and go sit down somewhere, that just lets you know already, you know what I'm saying, how he feels. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's like, he's getting mad at the fans that completely support him. That's the thing. Like, these are the hardcore fans. That's like, bro, I support you, I rock with you, but this is not a good look right here.
Nah, bro. We out here on these platforms talking about that's an all right fight, though. The DMV coming together. Lamont Roach is a champion at 130, so he's fighting a champion. Y'all gotta stand behind some crazy arguments right now. We looking at y'all like.
And the thing is, to make it worse, this is the thing the thing that gets me. It's not even going to be in the DMV area.
And then there's that part.
Yeah,
it's in Houston, so they're not even taking advantage of the demographic that probably does want to see the fight. The
right.
Demographic that probably, DMV business. Y'all not even giving the DMV the fight. Y'all making the DMV pay the pay-per-view.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like, it made sense to me. Okay, you're gonna put it in the DMV. Okay, cool. Right. I can understand that. I can get behind that. You know what I mean? DMV to make it, interesting, the storyline, so on and so forth, right? They ain't even going to be there.
You're gonna make them fly out to Houston, get a hotel, and do all other types of stuff to see that fight. And, I mean, it's not worth it, man. Guys, y'all know it's not worth it, bro. Y'all know it's not. Like, that's, you know, and that's why when the fans of boxing, I say it's okay to be. I mean, the fans of a fighter, it's okay to be a fan of boxing, bro. If your fighter's gonna throw you away just for questioning what he does, then you need to question why you being a fan of him. You should be able to question a boxer and be like, yo, bro, I'm a fan of you, bro. I buy all your pay-per-views. I think you're the best in the world. I think you're gonna beat everybody, knock everybody out, bro. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm confused about this. I'm not on board with this, bro. I don't see Lamont Roach, bro. Ain't nobody with Lamont Roach. Respectfully, great 130 champion. I want to see Lamont Roach fight Raymond Ford. I want to see Lamont Roach fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him fight some of the you know, Shaki Foster, Navarrete. Those are the fights I want to see Lamont in. Those are the great fights I'm looking to see Lamont in, bro, on those title unification fights. You know, Lamont Roach, it looks bad. People are talking bad about Lamont Roach right now, so you're doing Lamont Roach a disservice. Yeah, you're getting him money, but now people are calling him a cherry pick. They're saying he's not even, they're taking away from his accolades as a fighter that he's fought to be. Think about what I'm saying. You hurting him because now he got to deal with the trolls talking about he ain't like that. And he really is like that at 130. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At 130, he one of them guys, but now people are talking to him bad.
Right.
What, Too Rich? Are you serious? You
He
playing,
said,
right?
I can confirm that Lamont Roach is on the list.
He's laughing.
That's even worse.
He got a laughing emoji. I don't believe him. Too Rich. No, I don't believe you, Too Rich.
That's even worse. B McGee, brother in the super chat. He said that fight is definitely not a pay-per-view fight. 100. That's another thing.
Then you making us pay for it. Probably $80 to $90. Let's be real. Somewhere between $70 to $90.
So this is the thing. They're gonna bolster it though, right, Clay? They're gonna bolster it by putting all those fighters on the undercard. And then when it's all said and done, they're gonna say that he sold the fight and he's a superstar.
Right. And they're gonna stack that card. I think they're gonna stack it. They're gonna put the Charlo brothers on there. They're gonna put David Benavidez on there. They're gonna stack the card up, but they're gonna give him the see. It don't matter who he fight. Accolades.
Yeah, he's gonna get all the accolades.
Yeah.
It just don't make sense. It don't make sense. Like the thing is, Clay, it doesn't make sense with all the time you had. All the time you had, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it shows difficulty because you reached out to fighters. You did. And you didn't send the offer. So that brings up another question. You know what I would have respected more from Tank? If he would have went down to 130 and fought Lamont. If he would have made himself, I'd have respected that a little bit more. But like, you know what? I would have respected that more than bringing him up. You know what it's going to come with when you put that fight together. And I thought that was the last thing you wanted to do was bring this back up. Bring this topic back up and make it a Tank bringing somebody up, Tank bringing somebody down conversation. You stated that you wanted to become undisputed. You wanted to unify championships. There's opportunities here. There's things we feel like you could have pushed harder for. And then you got De Los Santos's coach saying that, yeah, bro, we was right there. We was ready to go. And then you guys are pushing out this narrative that De Los Santos was hurt. Bro, it's not adding up. And the new wave of things that you fans are doing is really just disgusting. This whole entire fighters are liars thing is nonsense. Because this is the new thing that's going on now. Why we gotta believe him? Why we gotta believe him? He probably lied. This is just becoming dirty behavior, bro. Like you call another man a liar for nothing. You don't know that man. That man really lied to you that much to where his word don't hold no weight.
Right. And that's another thing. It's like, why not Gary Russell if that's the case?
Right.
Why not Gary Russell? Well,
come on, man.
Because Gary Russell inactive, he injured. They're gonna speak for him.
It's dirty. It's dirty, man. It's dirty, bro. So we watching it and we sitting here watching it and we keeping it 100 with you what it looks like. But I'm glad, I'll be honest with you, Blue. I'm glad to see the fans starting to push back a little bit now because it used to be lonely out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He used to be by ourselves. Right. It's glad to see the fans starting to be like, nah, bro, we gonna need some pushback on this one, man. We ain't really, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna lie to you, bro. We not buying that. We fire sticking that. We ain't coming out to the fight. We not trying to pay no pay-per-view for that. That's not a pay-per-view event. I don't care, bro. We love you. We think you're a great fighter. We love what Calvin's doing with all those kids out there in Baltimore and what he's doing. What you got, but this thing right here, we're gonna push back on this. This Lamont Roach fight is not what we want to see.
And you know what else, Clay? I guarantee you, another big thing is you ain't never gonna see them numbers.
I think it might be. I think there might be a little bit. I think you might be upset. Now the card is stacked though, so if the card is stacked, it can be. But y'all going to pay out, and I think y'all going to pay out more than what those numbers are going to dictate, right? Whatever those numbers is, 250,000, 200,000, 175,000 pay-per-views. I think the bags that's going to get paid out to get both the Charlo brothers on there, to have David Benavidez on there. I don't know who else. Tank. I think that bag's going to be a big bag, bro, and it's going to be a bag that requires 350 north of 400,000 pay-per-views for it to be a worthwhile flip. And I question if we're going to see numbers anywhere close to that. You know what I'm saying? To justify the money you're going to have to spend to stack this card up behind this fight to make this card pay-per-view worthy.
Right. And see, that's the thing. Mahar Islam, what's up? Salute to Eric Dunn, brother in the super chat, dropping that half a dub on us in the super chat. He said, I've been saying this for years. When we talk about American boxing, we mostly talk about fights that don't happen. Too much fighting on X and not in the ring. Agree.
Ooh, can I hit the horn on for him?
Yes,
can I
sir.
hit the horn?
Yes, sir. Yeah. And that's a big thing.
That came in tonight. That might be the most significant super chat that came in tonight. Especially the end. Too much fighting on X and not in the ring, bro. Profound, bro. Profound.
All facts.
That's huge.
All
too
facts.
much fighting on X. Way too much smoke on X. Way too many content creation platforms talking about X fights, talking about X wars, words being said, and not enough talk about fights being made or happening. That was a super prolific, that was the best super chat of the evening, the most significant. Shout out to all the super chats, by the way. Don't want to degrade none of you guys. You guys are awesome. All the super chats have been great. But that one right there, that held weight right there. That's the fact. And he said, and the rest of it is facts. I've been saying this for years. When we talk about American boxing, let's talk about it. When we talk about American boxing, we mostly talk about fights that don't happen. And too much fighting on X and not in the ring.
All facts.
Shout out to Eric Dunn.
And with that said, let's get on out of here, great brother.
Yeah.
You going on tonight?
Man, the wife want me to chill. And last night we had a crazy. I'll tell you that on the private conversation, man. But it was a crazy night last night. I'm gonna try though, y'all. If I'm not trying, I don't know. We'll see.
What's up?
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man, in the building. Shout out to you, Blue, man. It was a great night of boxing conversation as usual, bro. You know what I mean? Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't done it yet. You know what I mean?
You know one thing I wanted to say too, Clay?
Yes.
I wondered what would it look like if they don't smash the undercard like that? If they don't stack the undercard, what the ticket sales in the arena looks like for that fight? Because see, this is something that they compare Devin and Shakur and not doing this and not doing that. Okay, fight Lamont Roach without a stacked undercard. And let's see what the building look like and the ticket sales and the pay-per-views.
Yeah, it'll be bad. I think it's a chance they can't afford to take, Blue. I think it's a chance. I think with the conversations of what's going on with the Amazon deal, the amount of money that, it's just, I don't think they can even roll the dice on it. I don't think they can afford to roll the dice. They have to stack that card, bro. They gotta stack it, bro. They got no play
to justify it. Barry Nash, he said, question, fellas, is Boots and Abdul flat-footed to y'all? That's a good question.
Yeah, because they do.
They are, but they
are move though. But they
but they don't have to be.
Right.
They choose to be flat-footed.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a choice.
Right. It's a choice.
Right. They're not limited to it. They're not one-dimensional. They just successful with what they've been doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what they do is they walk down their opponents. So
right,
they do a lot of walking down their opponents, and they don't have the opponent in front of them to force them to box and move. So they do a lot of walking down their opponents. So yeah, to a degree, yeah, I would say.
But that's the matchmaking too, though, right, Blue? Like, that's why the matchmaking is important, because as soon as they get in front of that fighter, you know,
right? It's like Tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tank is flat-footed until he don't have to be. He wasn't flat-footed against Isaac Cruz.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was flat-footed against, depending on the opponent. So I won't say they're flat-footed fighters, but they fight flat-footed, if that makes sense. Let me say, who can I say? Roman Villa. He's a flat-footed fighter. Mario Barrios. No, Mario Barrios not really flat-footed.
He get on his toes. So
who's another flat-footed fighter? Tim Tszyu is flat-footed, right?
Yeah, Tim Tszyu flat-footed for sure.
Yeah. So, but he don't have the ability to do it any other way.
Virgil flat-footed, in my opinion.
Virgil Ortiz is flat-footed, right?
Right.
Now that's a flat-footed fighter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No
so appreciate y'all coming through, man. Go subscribe to my brother Claymore Rain. The link is in the chat. Also, the link is pinned up to my new channel. It's pinned up in the chat. Subscribe to the new channel. The link is pinned up to the chat. We appreciate y'all, man. What you doing?
Get her before she do it, Blue. Get her before she do it, bro. What you about to do with the AI? I got my eyes on you. What you about to do?
She grabbing my cords and everything. Yeah. But yeah, we be back on tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, starting up, holding us down, showing us love. We will be back on tomorrow. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So we got me and Clay will be calling the fight next Saturday, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Bivol.
Next Saturday.
And this is a fight I'm excited about. Y'all gonna see a different version of me than that drunk version that was having a good time.
No, we ain't, because it's Red Cup Blue and Red Cup Clay next Saturday.
Y'all you see what he's saying, right? I caught a lot of hell from that last fight.
Waiting too long not to celebrate this fight. This is arguably the biggest fight of the year right here.
This is. I think it is. I think it's the biggest
fight of the year.
100%. If y'all knew better, y'all do better.
This fight? What other fight we had this year?
The only thing I'm scared of, Blue, is I hope Better BF don't wake up in between now and 2 weeks from now and get old. I just don't want him to wake up and get old.
And remember, he had that knee injury too.
Right. He's got these different. I just want him to be, because this could be one of these fights that we missed because of the timing. We might have missed it the same way we missed Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. We missed that fight. That fight came out, but when it came out, we clearly missed that fight. So I'm just praying that Artur Beterbiev is who we in our mind know he can be.
Let me ask you this: was it bigger than Fury and Usyk?
Yes. In my opinion, yes. I think that Usyk and Fury was a great fight. It's one of those fights, right? But I think Beterbiev and Bivol was just been marinating longer, and we really didn't believe it was going to happen. Right. I never fully didn't believe that Usyk and Tyson Fury wasn't going to happen. But I got to a point with Bivol and Beterbiev where I'm like, that just ain't going to happen, bro. One of them is going to go to cruiserweight. It's not going to. Nobody's going to pay for it. Shout out to Turkey. It's a fight that I've been waiting on for a long time, brother. Especially after Bivol beat Canelo.
Facts. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, people.
Yo, salute to you guys, man. Peace.